name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
Hello, hello, hello. Yes, we are back with another episode of Omni X-Men. My name is Justin, aka No Good Comics. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Omni X-Men finale of season 4 because we've been breaking down all of this omnibus right here from X-Men, the Chris Claremont volume 4 this past season. It's now coming to a close, and so we're going to be talking about Marvel Fanfare issue number 40. I know, not your typical X-Men title per se going into the end of this thing, and it seems like every season these omnibus kind of close out with these kind of oddball issues, but nonetheless I'm really excited to talk about tonight's issue. And of course, everybody that's, whether you're here right now or watching the replay, we appreciate you. Again, this is the finale, but be ready for the giveaway show next Tuesday. It'll be on John's channel, so we're calling this the finale because it's the last book that we're breaking down for this season of Omni X-Men, but we do do our giveaway show. If you want to know more about that, we'll talk a little bit about how you can get on the board. Tonight is the last night to be able to get on the board, get your name on the board for the prize wheel. So we're going to explain that a little bit more. But before I go any further, let me bring in my co-host and good friend John from John's Comics with Kids. Yo, Oh, wait.
I was done. I don't have any more slideshows to make. I was like,
you already checked out.
I'm making Legos tonight. I'm on senioritis vacation, summer break, right?
I'm ready. I got Jubilee here.
There you go. She's hiding somewhere back here. All right, fine. I'll save the Batmobile for later.
All right. There you go. Yeah, look, you're already on your vacation break there, John, huh?
Mindset. It's all mindset. I actually don't get much summer vacation, but I'm still gonna mindset. It's all mindset.
I was saying, I know you got plenty of shows coming up over the summer here, so
keeping it busy.
Yeah. Well, glad to have you back here, man. Excited to wrap up this season and then prepare for the finale or for the giveaway and everything else. So should be another good episode. Of course,
4 years.
It's crazy. It is crazy. I can't wait to kind of break that down and what we're gonna do next year, changing it up. We'll go a little.
You're gonna need a break from this after this omnibus. I know.
You need a
little time off. I get it. Yeah, mentally.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's bring on our special guest and great friend of ours, someone who has been with us and was here last year around the same time. Our good friend Michael, aka SOV Collector. Look at this guy. What? Representing. That's right.
I don't do Lego. I don't do these are mini mates. I just wanted to thank you. There
you go.
I got you.
There you go.
It's somewhere in there.
My daughter's broke the motorcycle, so that one I got to rebuild at some point.
I'll send you another one.
That's the great thing about Lego.
Another one. We can't have
that. No, bro. I mean, just took it apart. I got to find the pieces.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. It's hard to break Legos. You take them.
I can still send you another one.
I mean,
can't hurt to have two. Just saying, can't hurt to have.
Always good. It's actually a really cool set. If people haven't built that, that's a really cool Lego set.
It looks cool. Michael, how you been, man? Glad to have you back on the channel.
Great, man. I am great. I'm so excited to be here. And to everybody in the chat, I want you to know I've been here all season on Wednesday.
We appreciate you.
This is past my bedtime. This is normally when I come out of the shower. I go get in bed. I grab my books. I read and I go to bed. I just been trying to, tame it down. I'm a service manager now, and work's beat me up.
Responsibilities.
Yeah.
Right. But I want you to know I am here with you folks every week. I watch the rewind. I love you people. The comments, the interaction, it's such a happy and healthy place. And I look forward to every Wednesday seeing the new issue, the old issue, watching everybody that participates, watching everybody go through it. It's you guys do an amazing show. I really appreciate the two of you, and I love the community that's here, not just the comic community, this community. I
appreciate it, man. Wow.
Yes.
Appreciate the words, man.
Wow, that
seriously.
means a lot, man.
I do want to remind you, you are with royalty tonight.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Look at that thing.
Yes.
That.
A nice frame you got for
I haven't seen it in so long. Oh,
yeah.
It's a beauty. That is gorgeous.
Very nice. Yeah.
But
and for those who don't know, that was Nicholas Lane. That was our giveaway we did. 2 years ago that you won?
2 years ago. Yeah, that was from season 2.
He did my Catwoman, the Storm, and the Poison Ivy for me too.
Yeah.
Shout out to
His
Nicholas
work
Lane.
is insane.
Really is. I have a bunch all around my room here. So yeah, glad you won that piece, man. We're gonna have to have you post that again and just reshare, because even seeing that thing is like, it's been a while, so I forgot that
it's normally right there in the case, but I wanted I just wanted to, tonight, like.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So cool, man. Well, we appreciate you so much. If anyone's not following Michael, make sure you do so. I put his information in the description below.
Yes, thank you,
Mike. I mean, I've been talking to you since day one. Got to hang out with you several Comic-Cons and other local events over the years, so we appreciate you, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this book. I know John's got some questions to run you through the mill, so be ready.
Yes,
we'll go through that in a second.
But I did want to just to what you were saying earlier. I know that Michael, we've talked a lot about loving people who just want to read and talk about the stories and how much it means to them. So that's the culture that all three of us really care about and care about cultivating. And I think that's been the most enjoyable part of this show is even when it's not a great issue, it's a lot of fun being kids again and just reading it together and spending the time, in
the chat, everybody chiming in.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Have you guys ever watched on YouTube regular car reviews? You ever watch that show?
No.
It's not necessarily geared towards car people, but it's very popular amongst them. And that what you just said is exactly, those are the best shows. When he brings on like a Chrysler LeBaron, like this mid-condition 1984 Chrysler LeBaron, the commentary on it is the best. He brings on some cool, like, 67 Chevelle, and you're like, it's not that good. The worst issues are the best issues. They're hilarious.
Yeah. Yep. And you get to be the kid again, right? Reading it again.
It gives you a lot of talking points, for sure.
Last week with Greg, yes, the Alpha Flight was out there, but it was hilarious.
I ended up loving it.
And thanks for making me. I might have possibly picked a different issue if I knew I was going to be following Greg. That's a tough act to follow.
Well, he's hilarious because he's not an X-Men head. Getting him every year is a lot of fun because I just try to throw some curveballs at him, and he's down. He's always down to read and chat.
Just throw him in the lines. Then
you throw those Green Lantern fans into the Marvel universe. They just really
just do what they
struggle.
Greg, just so you know, all you got to do is just put the ring on. Bam! If you got imagination, you're Green Lantern.
There you go. I got mine.
Yeah.
I got mine.
See, now you're Green Lantern. That's it. That's all it takes. Bam! Now you're Green Lantern. Not that interesting. Not that interesting. Not like Marvel characters. Not like Marvel, where you have to be born into it. You can't just be a mutant. You can't.
Yeah.
You got to
find jewelry. That didn't work out well for. That Cool and Goth. That finding the bracelet jewelry thing didn't work out so well for the Marvel.
Not at all.
Poor Jaime Rodriguez.
Oh my God.
All right, before we get into things, I want to first remind everybody that's watching, whether you're here now or if you are here now, make sure you stick around for after the show. We are going to be doing our trivia that's all based on last episode, and yes, that is how you get your name on the prize wheel going into the giveaway next issue or next episode over on John's channel. So make sure to stick around after that, and hopefully you read the issue or you watched the episode, or you could always stick around and guess or make funny answers and try to make Michael laugh, because you could still get your name in as a point that way as well. So we'll get into those details after the breaking down of the episode.
Let's hide the chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so let's take a quick look at the chat here.
We derailed that already.
We got Adam Makes Up. What is up, Adam? Good to see you, brother. We got Ryan Magic Lasso. Hello.
Bring back the quips, Magic Lasso. Bring them back, man. Where's the first comment quips?
That's a great point. I know earlier we talked about how we don't show like our favorite panels anymore, or we highlight specific to panels, and Ryan was the one that pointed it out. But that's a great point. So Ryan doesn't bring the jokes anymore either. At least not that initial one. You always bring the.
I was gonna say if you are missing them, he does them every episode of his shows and his channel. So he's good about it. We just want more, is what we're saying. Bring them back.
Spread the love.
There it is.
Absolutely. We got our man Bobby's Station. Bobby, good to see you, brother. And we also have Candace. Hello, Candace, our Lego building and Harry Potter friend. Hello. So many things, friend, listening of. We got Big O Paul. What's going on, brother? Hello. Let's see, scrolling through here. We got Alan Climbing Comics. He was just on the show not too long ago. Good to see you, Alan. Let's see. We got Conlin Comics hanging out in the chat. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Let's see. We got our guy Jackson Roy Kirk. As always, a pleasure. Good to see you, Jackson Roy Kirk.
The Jackson Roy Kirk, not to be confused
correct.
with any other Jackson Roy Kirk.
I stand corrected. Let's see. There's JP. Wow, not bragging about lateness or anything like that.
No,
Taking too long.
he's happy tonight because he knows Cyclops is not in this book.
he's in a good mood. He's in a good mood.
I wouldn't be here either.
God.
Let's see. We got Albert. Albert loves comics, dude.
Hey!
I was trying to save a spot in my omnibus because I wanted to show something else tonight, and I was like, "How can I save this spot?" And I forgot that Albert made me this really cool Gladiator bookmark.
I've got a Magneto one from X-Men issue 1, the Jim Lee era, and it's so good. I use it all the time.
I have a Ghost Rider one.
What am I thinking?
Nice.
I'm using this journal to keep tallies for the giveaway. So I got Stormy right there.
We'd have it no other way.
Everybody loves
it. He's just created a whole bunch of new ones too. So if people want journals for themselves, those kinds of things, hit up the man.
Check it out. He's got an Etsy and everything. Yep, absolutely. Yep. We got Rod the Rican. What is up? Just the Rican and his comics. Always good to see you, Rod. Putting out a lot of great content right now. Let's see.
Yeah, he just had his first short hit 1K views. So congrats on that, man. Blowing up.
Awesome. Yeah, JP says any X-Men book without Cyclops is a good X-Men book. Fair.
Mean.
Let's see.
Side quest. Do we already say hi?
There he is. What's up, Eric? Hello. And we also got Gore Vidal. Hello, Gore. Says congratulations on another season. Thank you, my friend. It's always enjoyable, but as much as I like this program and discussions, please don't ever do one on. Gore, that was actually going to be our summertime read. We were going to invite you, and we were going to do the show as a group with you.
You don't make me read Cormac McCarthy. I won't make you read Saga again. There you go. That's the trade off right there. We're good.
Wow. Lassa says, I'm telling Chet. Yeah, where's Chet tonight?
Where is he?
Here in a little bit later.
He's not here. Yeah. And I know that Old Wolf can't make it. Old Wolf said Old Wolf's got stuff going on tonight. So those of you that can make your points, it's time to peel back the layers and get in
opportunity.
there.
Opportunity.
Tony's trying to recover from that clink and drink.
Gore said unsubscribed.
I'm still working on that.
Make sure it's John's channel you unsubscribe.
But it's right. He resubscribed later.
He did. Yeah. This doesn't count. That one doesn't count. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Alan. More points for you guys. All right, gang. John, you want to kick off some questions for our friend here?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Michael, you're one of the best man caves in YouTube. I absolutely love that room. It's phenomenal. Which mutant do you think would have the best nerd cave, the best hangout cave?
Great question. John with the questions. Always on fire.
Mr. Sensitive.
I don't even know who that is. How do I not know this mutant?
Oh, come on.
I thought you were calling me names.
Ecstatics.
Hey, Mr. Sensitive. I have not read that run. Ecstatics. That's is that not Trad Moore? Who's the artist?
Mike Allred.
Yeah. I've never read it.
Yes. Oh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Adding
it went from X-Force into Ecstatics. Dead Girl. It's right. Not an X title.
So tell me a little bit about Mr. Sensitive. It's not me, apparently.
He's just, I don't know. He's just this like quirky guy. I mean, like anybody from Ecstatics, they're like, it's a love letter to mutants in comic books, but they're like, everybody dies. I don't know. He's just this nerdy guy and he's sensitive. And like, he just strikes me as the kind of guy that would just have just boxes of comics, I love it. Nobody likes me. I'm just going to go read my comics. I don't know. I love Ecstatics. So.
That's fantastic.
That's who
I like Mike Allred's art. I've done some of his Silver Surfer and I've never done that run. I've heard of it, but I've never read it. So now
if you find a break in your schedule, it's worth your time. It's really
the Marvel app. It's perfect for when I'm traveling. I bring the iPad along and it's in my, I did it last summer, right? I caught up on some She-Hulk. I caught up on some Black Widow.
Unless you're trying to read Marvel Fanfare 40, then you can't catch up on that.
Yeah, apparently they skipped that one.
They
it was
stopped
like 36 to 44. It was
Like,
like just jumped right over it.
Yeah.
I got you guys a copy. Don't worry. I got you.
Look at this guy.
I actually do not own a copy, so that's on my list to get down at Terrificon. So no, let's meet up at Terrificon. Pass it over that way. Yeah.
I love Gore Vidal. Haven't read, all read, unsubscribed again.
Oh, yeah. That's a triple click. So right now he is.
Thank you, Gore. Yeah. Thank you.
You can't triple stamp or double stamp. You can't double stamp. All right. So, which mutant character do you think could handle the power of the Ghost Rider? Meaning they could take. I mean, we got the Helverine right now, but like, is there a female character maybe that could take that power? Okay, let's hear it.
John, you read it. You sent it to me.
I know.
You sent it to me.
I want to hear you say it.
Rogue.
There it is.
Yes. So I have a question though. I have a question about her powers. Like, okay, so I like X-Men. I follow X-Men. I'm first to admit I'm not the biggest X-Men fan. I'm more of like street level, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, you know, Moon Knight, Punisher. Does Rogue, how long does she retain like the memories and abilities? Like if she like just kind of like and then like so she gets it for like an hour? Or if she like
as her
grabs it, like how long does she like retain bits and pieces?
It's a fair question.
It sounds like water weight. Like how long does she retain the water weight? It's come and gone in the comics. Obviously, every writer can reimagine the way they want to. I know that there was a period in time where she was able to actually like almost like recall powers she had gained from back in like, oh, I touched that person 10 years ago and now I have it again. Right. But for the most part, the most consistent version seems to be the longer she remains connected to someone, the longer she has the ability. And if she completely absorbs someone to the point of them dying, then it can be permanent, which is what happened in the case of Carol Danvers. Now, I was super disappointed because she basically does that in the Excalibur run right after Hickman took over. And killed Apocalypse and became what I thought was the coolest version of her, Rogue Apocalypse, where she had like his skin color and his funny lips and whatever. And I was like, this is going to be dope. She's going to be like stretching and doing all kinds of cool stuff. But it was like one issue and then done. So
of course,
I got so upset with I think it was Trini Howard. I was like, girl, come on. You had Rogue Apocalypse and you threw it away. Like that was gold. And I just,
Now, if there was a character I'd like to see, like if I was to do one of these melding of characters, it wouldn't be Wolverine. That's too obvious, and I think honestly, this Wolverine story
seems cheap to me.
It's Nightcrawler though. I feel like Nightcrawler would be fun. You know,
the brimstone and the fire. Now you got both.
What I mean. Like,
plus his religious side of him and everything else. Like,
you could call it
heaven and hell kind of thing. Like
Nightcrawler as Ghost Rider, fire and brimstone.
Now what if Emma Frost got Ghost Rider's powers? Ooh, fire and ice.
Yeah,
dude,
that's cool.
See, I'm down with any of it. All of this sounds. The one that's also too it seemed like Jean Grey is too obvious for this too. Like that's just too easy a pick.
That's OP.
The Phoenix and it's right.
It's OP. It's OP. Now remember, Ghost Rider is the most powerful character in all of the known Marvel universe. Doctor Strange said so.
You heard it here.
That can't be recanted. It exists. It's in print. I have it on my wall. I got a poster of it over here somewhere. So we all know Jean Grey Phoenix is OP. She is for like what's above a mega level mutant? I don't know. Phoenix. That's it. There's like regular level, omega level, Jean Grey,
which is really like a different entity.
Right.
Yeah.
And it depends on what your omega level power is, because it could be something that's not really impressive. Like I'm the best at what I do, but what I do is kind of lame. Could be a weakness, you know. I mean, it's possible.
We're looking at you, Cyclops.
Emma Fritz. Emma Equinox. Couple of quick hellos to Ryan Colossus in the chat. What's going on, Ryan? Bobby said Magic would be a good match for Ghost Rider. I could definitely say that. And Eric said, the longer she touches them, the longer she has the ability. So there you go.
So I'd have to look again to see how long she held on to him. But, it was kind of cool. Ghost Rider and Rogue are two people I would never see mixing it up.
Right.
So to see that come together,
Yeah.
And I asked that question because you may ask another question about Rogue, and that would answer my question to that. So,
so we've seen a lot of like mutants with motorcycles, but who do you think has the best collection of vehicles? Like if somebody's got like that Jay Leno garage, like who's got the coolest vehicles? Which mutant?
who owns the Blackbird? I mean, that thing's sick.
Xavier, right?
Xavier.
I guess.
Gambit had a motorcycle for a while, right?
He did, and Cyclops and Wolverine, right?
Right. Again, Wolverine, oh man, I can't
He doesn't
say
seem like
nice
a
about
motorhead.
Wolverine
Wolverine doesn't
love
seem
him.
like somebody who just like has all these cars. He's got one
Right.
car, and he just loves it,
He's just got the one bike. It's a little beat up, runs a little bad, but you know, it gets the job done.
Yeah.
Gambit seems like he would have like a '69 Camaro, like a black one. You know, he looks like he'd have some cool cars.
Like, stashed all across the country.
Right. They're all stolen, you know.
Right.
I was
he doesn't have
thinking,
the pink slip for any of them.
Yeah, they're all stolen, you know. Guild of Thieves, you know. But he's got them stashed, you know, around the country.
Right. I was thinking Roberto having a nice set of cars.
He could. He's got the cash for it.
Yeah. That's true.
Angel too, I guess, in that
showing
category.
off, you know. Yeah.
But Xavier, I want to see Xavier get the like power in his wheelchair. The flames are coming off the back of the wheelchair. That's what I was thinking of when I was writing this question for you. Is Xavier's flaming wheelchair?
Yeah,
that exists. That exists somewhere.
No,
there's a what if where what if Ghost Rider was in a wheelchair and it basically looks like Xavier as Ghost Rider.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see here. Who is your second favorite X-Men artist?
I don't know, Paul Smith. After watching all that, Paul Smith, like, that guy crushed it. You know who it's not is John Romita Jr. But I digress.
not a close second.
Even like my 48th favorite.
Not even making the top 48.
No, he's
not when you got like Mark
too.
Silvestri flying in there under the radar, and you know Jim Lee's and Burns and Cockrum's everywhere. You know. Well,
you know what? That's more my taste, though. I love the 90s. I love 90s comics as some of my favorite, but like, you know, Mark Silvestri, the Image Founders guys, while I love their style, I appreciate it immensely. But really, when it comes down to, you know, somebody like Paul Smith, John Byrne, George Perez, you know, Michael Golden, you know, classic, you know, 70s to 80s artists really embodied some of the, you know, just like when I think of these characters, that's what I see in my head. So to me, you know, so who would be my, you know, Mike Allred would probably be my first favorite X-Men, just because I love that run. It holds a special place in my heart, you know.
Boy, I'm definitely reading that this summer.
Yes, putting it up there.
I don't know. I'd probably cheat and say Mark Texeira on Wolverine.
Ooh, nice pick.
I'm gonna cheat.
That's like a Silvestri pick. I think it's under the radar. People don't mention it enough. I love it. Bobby's happy.
We got for me. We got.
Yeah. Ryan says, "I'm telling Chet everything."
You should take notes. Take notes. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, if Nightcrawler became the Ghost Rider, what vehicle would he ride around in? What would he drive?
I would hope he'd like rob a Goblin glider. Nightcrawler bamfing around on a Goblin glider. Ooh, that would be
fun.
Could definitely see
they don't do enough like flying vehicles for Ghost Rider.
No.
That's a good point.
But I bet he'd still have like a badass motorcycle too, though.
You can't not have it. It's kind of like
maybe he'd have a dirt bike.
Ooh,
pirate ship.
I like that.
A pirate ship. There you go. He's gonna Nightcrawler with a flaming skull, but a pirate hat, like a big plume coming out of it, on a flying, burning pirate ship.
Wasn't he like a pirate in his limited series back in like the late 80s?
There's a lot of swashbuckling time for
right?
Nightcrawler.
For Nightcrawler, yeah.
Absolutely.
Pogo stick, Kenny.
Unicycle.
Get out of here, these people. Come on, he's not juggling. Jeez. He came from the Munich circus.
All right.
If you were gonna show Storm one movie, what are you gonna sit Storm down and show her? What's the movie that you're like, you got to see this?
Who said True Romance? Because like I can't top that.
Good.
I can't top that. I can't top that. I don't remember who said that, but somebody said True Romance. I give up. I hope John doesn't ask me that question. I hope he asked me. I hope he asked me what's my favorite X-related title.
Ryan says a wolf.
I'm like, please God, ask me that one. Please God, ask me that one. No, I'm handing it over to whoever said True Romance.
Good pick.
You win.
All right, who's stronger, Rogue or Colossus?
Rogue. Listen, nothing but love for Colossus. Rogue. Period.
There it is.
Ryan, where you at?
She's got. I mean, we've established she may still have the spirit of vengeance in her.
Right.
Don't forget last episode or last issue, he was knocked out when she fell. Her cheek fell into him, and he dropped.
wait, which cheek? Because that could any of us, I think, would all collapse.
Her face.
Her face. Okay.
For like 2 seconds, and then Colossus just drops to the ground. He just got completely out of it. Ryan said wrong.
Of course he did. Okay, what's more dangerous, a Sentinel or a Terminator?
I'm going with everybody. The Terminator. I want it to be a Sentinel. I mean, Marvel's my jam. I'm not a movie guy.
I get it.
But
it's Arnold, man.
Dude, they destroy humans. Sentinels destroy mutants. I mean, I'm scared of a robot that wants to kill me. I'm not scared of a robot that wants to kill somebody else. I mean, I'm still scared, but not as scared.
So you're saying you're not a mutant, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I believe hopefully that. My head would be on fire. Then I wouldn't be scared of a Terminator at all.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Who's the best X-Men team leader?
Mr. Sensitive.
I keep going back saying Mr. Sinister. Like I keep thinking you're about to say that name.
Nobody picks Sinister for anything except who.
Well, that's why I was like thrown off.
He's only got the best.
I got a problem with it. Yeah, Emma Frost, bad guy. Mr. Sinister, bad guy. Who's the wasn't Destiny supposed to be a bad guy?
Yep.
Like, these are bad guys.
The sisterhood of evil bad. Yeah. They're always on the fence. Let's be honest. They're always right there on the line. Even Magneto, he may be right, but he's doing things wrong.
He's a bad guy. To answer that question, we'll just jump ahead. Is Magneto a super villain or a superhero? He's a super villain. I like him, but he's a super villain.
Would Michael date a telepath?
Would a telepath date Michael? I'm an honest guy. I'm very comfortable with who I am, and like.
But that's going to make them feel at ease, right? They're going to be like, "Look, he plays it straight with me. He's not telling me any lies. He's not messing around with me." So they would probably be appreciative of that, as long as they got through the wow. He's got some thoughts.
So yeah, I'm down. I'm down, even if she's redheaded.
All right. Last one. Does Rogue have does Gambit have a side piece?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. That man loves that woman. That man loves that woman. I've never read an issue of a comic book where Gambit had any interest in any other women. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm sure there's that one issue or in the Ultimates. Nope. In the 616, Gambit loves Rogue unconditionally, nonstop. That man loves her, worships the ground. You can't even kiss her, and he's got that woman's back. So no, absolutely not. And yes, I saw the funniest have a back tattoo.
I saw the funniest meme on that where it was like, I can't even touch him, and he's like, dude, last episode they showed those collars you can wear that take your powers away. Like, what the heck? Like, you just get one of those for the bedroom. That's all you need is the collar. They have the technology.
Yes, and he does have a back tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, stamp all the way. Yes.
He's definitely got the back tattoo.
See that? Look at how much of a fan Michael. He knows all the questions that I've asked. This season.
Well prepared.
Now ask me which is my favorite X-related title.
What is your favorite X-related title, Michael?
Oops, I'm stuck in a dryer. Number 4.
I actually did see those before.
You asked that question twice, and both times I'm like, you mean X-Men related title? X-Men related title?
I mean,
Both times you had said it, you said X-related title, and it went, oh.
I try, yeah, we'll play with our audience a little bit.
Love it. I love it.
Well, Michael, you clearly survived. Yeah,
you did.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody. And again, reminder, if you're not following Michael, make sure you do so. I put his information in the description below. Same thing with John, because we will be back on John's channel next week, 9:00 Eastern, to do the giveaway portion of the season to wrap things up. So yeah, I just posted a reel earlier today. A couple of books I'll be giving away as well, on top of everything else. Oh, and big shout out to Thony Silas.
Early keys.
Yeah, big shout out to Tony Silas. He's our featured guest. I mentioned this in the video as well. We're doing a commission piece. Meant to tell it earlier. I put Tony's information in the description below. Does some amazing work, and just like Michael had shown, the other artwork piece that he won 2 years ago from Nicholas Lane. This year, start next week, is when you can win a commission piece from Tony Silas. So be ready for that.
I'm hoping whoever wins, I hope they get Rachel Dinners with a pimp cane, holding a sandwich, looking frail. Like, go.
Oh, we need to get that designed. We need to get that designed.
Oh my god, I love it.
All the
That's
things.
phenomenal.
All right, you guys ready to jump into this issue here?
Let's do it.
And now I will clarify and say, because we did talk a little backstage about this, that obviously this isn't a Marvel Fanfare issue. It's Marvel Fanfare 40. It has 2 stories in it. Tonight, we were mainly going to be talking about the Chris Claremont written story. But I know that you guys did read a little bit, or you read the other story prior to this. I did not. It actually was not part of the omnibus itself. They only did the Claremont half, so it's only 15 pages or so. But if you guys, before we get into
the app, like you mentioned earlier, so you really need the issues or some illegal Russian sites.
So actually, before we even get into that, let me ask you. We'll just start with the cover as we usually do. So we have I put both covers here. I had the back and the front. Obviously the front covers more of the first story, and then we have Storm on the back. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on both overall, just as a concept and design. So John, I'll pass it to you first. What were your initial thoughts of these covers?
I usually say for Marvel Fanfare, these are the books you want to have the clear backing board, right? These are the books you want to be able to see both sides. That's not the case with this one. Just flip it around. Just show me the Storm cover. Come on. You don't need the Angel picture. Not necessary. And the Storm one is so freaking good. I don't hate the Angel one, but who cares? It's Angel. Like, come on. Get to the Storm cover. Storm cover.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Michael, what are your thoughts on these covers here?
So one thing that keeps, usually the theme seems to be like, if you saw this cover on the rack, is it enough to make you grab it? I gotta say, I probably would. If I saw that, I go, wow, it's interesting art. It's David Mazzucchelli. I like it. Is it a character like, oh my God, it's Angel? Like, I gotta grab that. Now, if the back cover, if I saw that Storm, like, and that was the front cover, guaranteed, hands down, yes. But I gotta hand it to him. I mean, most of these Marvel Fanfares had pretty good artists in covers. Not all of them, but the largest majority of them. And I gotta say, I do like this cover. I'd probably grab it, especially for.
I mean, you clearly did.
Oh, 95, but
almost $2 at that time. Yeah,
because this is 1988.
Yeah.
Oh, 88.
Yes.
Okay.
88,
yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Why is this? We'll get to it, but why is 1988 in a 1985 series?
Yeah, that's a curious addition.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
But yeah, I think overall I think it's a dope cover. I think it's especially for what it is, and I completely agree with John. And yes, I do have my copy in a Mylar Magic with clear backing board.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
A lot of that Wolverine, the Wolverine issues where they had the double covers, and then these they look phenomenal with that.
Yeah. And I was going to add, so Candace, I saw your comment here. Yes, it is the back. And a lot of, or all of the Marvel Fanfares had some unique or beautiful back backing to each issue. And I know we had broken down what the first 4 issues, I think, John, last season. And they 4, right? Yeah. And they each had either whether it was a wraparound or it was something unique on the back. Also on the inside of the back, usually there's like something special. So there's a lot of unique or just cool opportunity for artwork in general. And that's partially because they have so many different artists working on the book, since it's usually split between 2 to 3 stories. You have Al Milgram as the editor each and every time. He has his own little, story in the beginning. So there's just a lot of hands involved with this. So it's cool to have.
Totally.
That's
and I'm with you
also where you will find the Wolverine sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Quick hello to Inja Binja. What's up, Inja? Hello. Yeah, the clear backing. Good call there for sure. Agreeing on those. Let's see. Scrolling through. Okay, got everyone covered here. So yeah, I'm with you guys overall. Obviously, yeah, the back. I need to get a copy of this because I don't own one. They don't include this in the actual omnibus either. So from last issue, it literally just goes right into the interior.
They do have the storm cover or back cover at the end of the story. They included it there.
I just thought it was weird that they didn't give you the front cover of 40. Like you
I mean, or even just include the whole thing. But I'm sure there's some kind of reproduction rights, because obviously Claremont is writer on everything in these omnis, and the Angel story is written by Ann Nesenti and drawn by David Mazzucchelli, which I was very excited about when I saw that, because I love Batman Year One and Daredevil Born Again, and he's just such a phenomenal, iconic talent from that era. So to find stuff that he did outside of those 2 stories, I was kind of pumped on it. Even if, like, Michael and I don't know, do you want us to just run you through it right now, Justin, or do you want to save it for the end?
We could do it. Yeah, if you want to do a brief, I don't have any slides or anything, but if you want to do a brief cover on it,
the Angel story is basically like an odd little tale of like this somewhat. Well, you get the like editorial 6 panels.
There's Al.
And then you get this woman who is somewhat religious, and she's talking at her house, and Angel like crash lands in her front yard. So she's talking to like her grandson. He's bored. He doesn't want to hear about the Bible and whatever she's preaching. And then he leaves, and she hears this noise. And there's a lot of biblical kind of elements going on here with the apple and all this kind of other stuff. But then Angel crash lands in her yard. And she sort of saves him and brings him into her house, and is like under the belief that this is an actual genuine angel fallen from heaven. And she's like taking care of him and collecting his feathers and just really uncertain about what's going on. And as she kind of helps him recuperate, she's trying to feed him and all these kinds of things and bring him back to life. And she's truly believing that there's magic in these feathers, and this is a real angel she needs to save that is in relation to her faith. But then he wakes up, he kisses her and thanks her, and takes the apple that she gave him and kind of flies off, leaving Grammy kind of just like shocked by this whole thing, whatever's transpired. And that's it. That's kind of the whole story. That's kind of it. Did I miss anything at the end? I can't even remember. That's pretty much it, right?
She drives off in her Cadillac.
Yeah.
Angel leaves. She throws away the toaster. She puts on her driving gloves and dips out in her caddy.
Yeah, feeling very much like my faith has been renewed, kind of a thing. Right. It's a simple story. The art by Mazzucchelli isn't particularly amazing, but I do like what they're kind of trying to do here with the character. But yeah, it's okay.
Angel coming down and renewing her faith was odd. You know, she gets her the little kid that she's trying to explain the Bible to the little kid, and the little kid turns out to be like, I don't know, Damien. And steals her purse. Like he's listening to her and steals her coin purse and dips out. And that's where Angel just miraculously shows up to renew her faith. The sentiment was good. It didn't have like this X-Men necessary vibe to it.
Right.
Like there's really no display of powers or why it just involves Angel. And as amazing of a character as Angel is, that's what you get. You get Angel.
It's funny to me that it's not that it's not the backup story to the Storm being the front story. It's funny to me the placement of the two books, because I would have instantly swapped them, but maybe they weren't ready for Storm on the cover and they wanted Angel on the cover. I don't know.
Candace says, "Nope, just a guy in a diaper and feathers."
It is.
That's the story.
Bobby, why is he in a bath towel?
They don't explain where Angel came from or where he goes next. That is kind of left to the reader's imagination.
Just like an open,
He got beat up by Rogue.
All right.
Fair.
All right. Well, you guys ready to dive into the second half then here?
Yep.
Let's do it. All right. So going into the next set of pages, we have some incredible artwork by, and the penciler here is Craig Hamilton, Rick Bryant doing the inking. And just wanted to put these three panels together. I mean, the middle one here, obviously being the core splash page with the lovely Storm there, and it really just takes place. So it said typical Atlanta summer night. I didn't know if that meant that she was actually in Atlanta or if she's down south.
Yes, yeah,
right?
she's down south.
That's what I thought. Because then I'm thinking like, oh, and I should clarify, in the omnibus, it actually has a little note here saying special bonus. This issue is set during Rogue's disappearance in the Uncanny X-Men 185. Chris Claremont and Hamilton stage a summit between X-Men and Evil Mutants in this feature from Marvel Fanfare issue 40 from 1988. So just want to clarify that it technically in the omnibus does note to you, oh, this kind of falls into that
where
play.
It lands.
Yeah, like at first I was like, wait, where am I supposed to, be expecting this? So so as of right now, Storm is still flying. She still has her powers. She still has her abilities. And she's in Atlanta, just looking over the top. And it's a really cool perspective that we get from her. Kind of reminds me of what is it, X-Men 153 with Wolverine with the Brood and his mindset of like, you're in his head and hearing his thoughts on how he, I know Frank Miller took that and ran with it and did a lot with that, but I just like that style, and we do it here with Storm this time around. So getting a bit more from her perspective right off the bat, and she just kind of introduces herself. I do like that this can be an intro kind of a book, for those who might, or at least as far as wanting to know who Storm is, kind of explains a little bit about that and what she can do. She explains that she is mutant, and she says, not sure if that's for better or for worse, but she's like, I am technically more than human, and just kind of goes about it there before she gets into the next bit here. So, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this opening scene, where Storm's at right now, and obviously the artwork. So, John, I'll pass it to you first. What were your thoughts?
This is gorgeous, and specifically I think the color work really just stuns. The purples, the blues, even the sunset up here at the top, and that green face on the far side there. Some really great color work happening that just pops off the page. I think Michael kind of highlighted the comment that Marvel Fanfare had this great opportunity that they capitalized on often of pushing the envelope for the form at Marvel. And they weren't necessarily as restrained as most typical titles were. They were given a chance to experiment, right? To push the boundaries of this form in ways that I think most of the big two weren't at the time. And so Marvel Fanfare had this opportunity for a proving ground for, artists, but also an opportunity for them to spread their wings a little bit. And I think that's why you get some very innovative and exciting and creative pieces in these books. It doesn't mean they're all home runs by any stretch of the imagination, but you do know you're going to get something different than the typical Marvel book. That's what was kind of cool about it.
Yeah, no, well said. Good point here too. Roy Kirk says that Fanfare has better paper and could do more with the colors. That's a great point. And that was all the way from issue number 1. I remember when we first opened that one up and just seeing the original issue that had nicer paper in general. So, Michael, what about you? What were your thoughts here on these opening scenes, the beautiful panel layouts and artwork?
Absolute confusion. Story-wise. Okay. You know what? Let me touch on the art first. Sure. Art is phenomenal in this. Absolutely phenomenal. The angles, the action, the way it just flows. The backgrounds. That's something I love to see. I love to see backgrounds. Not just a character with a plain black background. So the art in this is absolutely fantastic, and it definitely grabbed my attention. The Storm cover should have been the cover, and then you open it to this. Oh goodness, you knew you bought the right book. And I'm going to just throw it in there. Yes, Mohawk Storm is best Storm. Absolutely.
There it is.
Her attitude, her design, her character, just like everything about her exudes, you talk about, who's the best team leader, and it's Storm or Cyclops. If I got to pick one of the two, it's definitely Storm. I'm not going to knock Cyclops on that. He is a good team leader because he's milquetoast. But this is why she's badass. She leads the charge, story wise. Now, I just grabbed this issue. Editorial did not tell you that this has anything to do with anything. So I had no idea where this story is coming from. And why Storm is flying, which is one of the first things I see. I see a Storm and I see her flying, and I'm going, she doesn't have her powers though. So that's when I started flipping back, and that's when I realized this issue came out in 1988, and I'm like, okay, is this like an untold story that's supposed to slot in between the two? There was no reference as to why this story, and I started, so why the heck is this in volume 4? Right. Shouldn't this be in volume 5?
Right.
So I was it starts off with a bang. The story's written well. It captured my attention, but I was lost.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I mean,
I was curious too about that, because with the color work comes the dual narrative, right? We have 2 narrators in the story. One gets the sort of light pink box, and one gets the yellow box. How are you guys handling that? I was curious.
So technically actually, I agree we get 2, but the yellow I took as still Storm. It's not until later that we get the other character that we get the other character. But I did question that because it was yellow. So I thought
I took it as the other character, because she even says soon she'll be here, the arrogant witch, and the fun will begin. I took it as like Mystique's voice, and obviously I don't want to spoil that it's Mystique, but it is Mystique.
So I thought the thing that crossed my mind was that it could have been Destiny.
Ooh, interesting.
Only because I was sticking
Mystique
by color.
Gets the blue writing later.
Right.
That's interesting.
Right.
Oh, that
did cross my mind. The way it's said is it doesn't seem like it'd be Storm to say that.
That's clever.
Well, again, if we're sticking by colors, it wouldn't be Mystique either. But that's just.
I thought that was this is clearly an early instance of a situation like that, and yes, when that starts happening, and you're like, the dialogue between the two is not as much as their thoughts towards each other, and it's awesome. It really makes for an exciting story.
Totally. And for anyone who's like just tuning in and didn't read, and they're just like, what are these guys talking about? They might even be more confused because we only got these first 3 pages, and they're like, wait, they're mentioning other characters already.
48 minutes in.
Yeah. What is happening?
The first 3 pages of the book.
All I see is Storm, and they start mentioning
on par. It's a Storm issue, folks. We're gonna go slow. We're gonna take it easy, pace ourselves.
It's our kind of issue.
Yeah.
All right, I'm obviously totally with you guys with the artwork. I was blown away when I first turned these pages and saw this. And I mean, keep in mind, it was also like refreshing from an omnibus standpoint because of all the artwork we had recently, and some of it not being so great, as you can recall in the last 4 or 5 episodes. It's been hit or miss, but coming to this was very refreshing, very different, much more modern compared to what we've been living in with, this stuff from the 80s. So I do like that it kind of hits you in a different way that way. So let's move on to the next set of pages here.
I said we talked more about these 3 pages than we did the whole Angel story.
Yeah. Angel story, that didn't even count. That was just a little side blurb.
Wash your hands of it. Just walk away.
Exactly. All right. So now we get this other perspective, another character. Technically at this first page, we don't see who, but the only thing noted is, as John mentioned, we see the blue, box coloring that was different from the pink or the yellow. And it's, it talks about the idea of referring to Storm and putting her in this uncomfortable position to try to shake her, try to like startle her. So she invites her to this nightclub. And it's very much seems like a bit of a sketchy nightclub. You even have a guy who's like trying to grab her and ask her if she wants to go party with them and all this stuff, trying to cause some trouble. And it's definitely not Storm's normal scene from what she's into or whatever. So that was the perspective that we got from this blue voice or this blue set of thoughts. And then she finally meets this waitress who says, "Oh, your sister's here," and points her in the direction of this table, says, "Yeah, she's in the back room, the back table, go have a seat." And Storm's like, "Well, I don't have a sister." And so if that's the case, there must be some sort of metamorphosis, trickster of some kind going on. And then we get at that far side there, we get to see what looks to be like Storm's sister could pass for, right? And but of course she immediately knows it's Mystique. So that's where, for those who didn't read it, that's where we're talking about Mystique, why that is. So we just get this little introduction here before we get into anything else. It just says, it just talks about the background and then the reveal. So I'm going to pass it to you, John. What are your thoughts here? Now that we kind of see who it is. We're still not sure of anything. We don't know. Like it's two mutants meeting at a nightclub, essentially. That's what we're getting, right? So what are your thoughts with kind of where this story's going?
I mean, again, the color work, you look across these panels, it's like not the same three colors used over and over again. There's some real great use of lighting here to highlight what's going on in this club. Costumes continue to be a highlight, and we're going to get to a great costume in a few pages here that may go down in the history of this Omni show as one of my faves. But there's two things. Yeah, obviously the guy with the crazy like faux hawk going with like the abs for days, and then the cross-eyed Mystique. The first time we see the sister, Storm's sister, she's got the nastiest cross eyes going. I'm just like, what? Whoa, what is going on?
Oh, yeah.
Candace is already hyped on it. She's clearly she's read ahead. She knows. She's like, yes. I'm just gonna say, think Namor. I'm just gonna say, think that, and you'll know where we're at with it when we get there. So for me, the cross-eyed Mystique threw me off, but I was still sort of vibing on what this whole artist is trying to do with this club scene, and it works. It really does work for me. I enjoyed it, even when the faces were a little funky.
Yeah. Michael, what about you? What are your thoughts here on as we move into seeing this secondary character? Obviously, Mystique being a big deal here, but what are your thoughts here?
So it definitely, like, the issue built very well. It goes from like this Storm just looking powerful and awesome to she shows up at this nightclub, and now it's setting up the stakes for like, all right, something's gonna go down. It gives you like Blade vibes or something. Ooh, okay, so she's going to CD nightclub. She's obviously got some information. She's got something on her mind. I don't know what. I'm very confused because she's still got her powers. And then you see this, this guy here in the jacket, and I was like, what's he all about? Found out nothing. But the buildup, the anticipation, and then boom. Okay, so we got Mystique posing as as Storm, and I'm like, all right, something's going down. I love it. Same costume design, fantastic. The background's phenomenal. The coloring, I love how you can tell it's a dark nightclub, but there's still all this color. It was really well executed in that sense. To be able to pull that off is definitely not an easy feat. But I love that the stakes are we're just a couple pages in, where the second spread in, and the stakes are already huge. Something's going to happen. So I'm like, okay, I did pick the right issue.
Yeah. I think you definitely did. A couple things in the chat here. My man Copy 801 in the chat. Good to see you. Been a while. Hope you're doing well. He says, yes. I
just saw him at 3 Men in the Basement a couple weeks ago.
Nice. The crawl. Nice. Yep. Let's see. Candace said, I was at my desk at work too when she was reading it. She says, thank goodness no one. That could have been awkward real fast.
Oh my gosh.
What is that Candace into? We got Bobby, great question. What song do you think's playing right now?
Oh,
So many great comments after that too.
Yeah, you got Diana Ross, Bobby.
And obviously Ryan.
Never
gonna give you
Yep.
You spin me right round. That's what
I think
I'm
Bobby
going
and I
yeah.
have hit the home run right there. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice, well done, Bob. Hey, Chedai Knight in the chat.
There he is.
There he is. What's up, Chet? You missed a lot, my man. You got to talk to Ryan. He'll fill you in.
We're not reading your jokes. Come on, Chet. We're doing a show here. Give me a break. We're professionals, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Sweet dreams.
Ooh, nice one.
Ooh, nice.
Really
nice.
good ones. Yeah. All right, let's keep it going here. So as she starts to explain a little bit about what this is all about, because remember, in this context of things, from our understanding, Storm was invited here. And so Mystique kind of starts to explain a little bit and says, relax. She goes into explaining a little bit as to why she's dressed the way she is. She reminds Storm, like, I'm part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and obviously wouldn't want to cause a stir. So I'm dressed like this. However, if you want, I could do it this way. And she switches over to Kitty Pryde, looking like Kitty Pryde, which Storm is not having. She's completely, she triggered. She even
lights up a cigarette right there as Kitty.
Yes, yeah. So what a scene there. And then she's like, "Oh no, fine." She changes up again, and she looks. I noticed if you look closely at this after Kitty, the Kitty change. She has like this crazy rock star, the green eyes, almost a Dazzler vibes, right? Yeah. But then after that, she's got the swastika as a necklace and an earring. With the cigarette still there, and still has the Storm
Nazi Dazzler.
It's chaos. Yes.
That's
nice.
I guess that is
black.
The best way to that's probably the best way to put it. So she's like, would you prefer this? Would you prefer that? And she's clearly just toying. And again, to what she was thinking before, she's trying to mess with Storm, trying to get her out of her comfort zone overall. And Storm is trying to keep it under control. She says, get to the point, woman. And you could tell she's starting to get a little bit annoyed, and thunder starts cracking outside.
Yes.
Mystique is like, easy, you're scaring, first of all, relax. Like, you're scaring the humans around here. Wouldn't want to do that. And then we get into this really beautiful page, the one on the far end here, where the two of them are standing. I think, Michael, this is a part that you were referencing. So I'll send it to you first. But to see the pink and then the blue, just their thoughts, not even communicating yet. And you have Storm on the left, who's basically trying to calm herself down and stay in control. One thing that we know very much she likes to be part is in control. And then on the other side, you have Mystique, who is pretty much thinking opposite of like, oh man, when is Storm gonna just like go off here? Because I can't wait to see her just flip out, because she knows she's pushing all the right buttons to kind of get her to that point. So with that said, Mystique starts to explain. She asks where Rogue is. She reminds her that that's her daughter, reminds Storm, and that she's looking for her. She tried to call the mansion and she hasn't gotten her. And then now this is where Storm has references and says, well, she actually ran off. These are things that are referenced to 185, which again probably would have helped someone like Michael getting into this portion of it. But yeah, so they reference a lot of that. But there's some back and forth, some little bit of a touche here going on between the two of them, where she says she ran off. I knew, Mystique says, I knew something had to happen. Basically saying like, yeah, Professor X doesn't know what he's doing. Can't do anything well with that. And then Storm points out like, well, how did you do with her? Like that, you didn't do so well yourself. So before you start, blaming anybody for not being a good person to take care of them. So there's definitely some great back and forth before things get interrupted. So before we go to the next set of pages, Michael, I want to pass it to you first. What are your thoughts here? We talked a little bit about the different color bubbles and the thought process, but that page especially, and everything that kind of built up to it. Take us through kind of what you felt when you were reading this.
Okay, so at this point, like I'm seeing some things I'm familiar with Mystique changing her appearance. I was a little upset when she turned into Shadowcat, because I'm like, oh, that's it. Like, no more costume changes from Kitty. Like, she's just gonna wear the blue from now on till at least until this issue. And I'm like, damn, I always loved the costume. I liked how she's flipping back and forth, just like taunting Storm, just like
poking the
jabbing at her, giving her little FUs, or getting her riled up before asking that question. And like clearly, and Storm gets pissed. Like she's mad now. And then where's my daughter? When she asked where Rogue is, at that point, I mean, it was so cool to see the dialogue going back and forth between the two. I probably read that 2 or 3 times, just like, ooh. Oh,
yes.
But I was also left extremely confused, only because I'm like, okay, why is Mystique looking for her now? Like,
right.
Clearly, she's got a plan. She needs her daughter, and Storm is not telling her. Like, where is Rogue actually? Like, I mean, as the breaking the fourth wall and all that. Like, we're supposed to know because we read these issues. Sure. I don't know where Rogue is, so I'm very confused as to what's going on at this point.
That's fair.
But as far as like 2 Titans about to slug it out, like the build up at this point, it's coming to a head for me, and I'm like, I can't read it fast enough.
Yeah, just the raw conversation. Yeah, I hear you.
And then the art on top of it, just the expressions, the angles, like you see just for quick, there where you see her eyes and just the daggers in her eyes. The art is just it kept me anticipating page turns. Wow. Chris outdid himself in this issue, even though I was left confused. I couldn't stop reading, and it worked. I need more.
Yeah. Well said. Very well said. John, what are your thoughts here? Again, a lot of it focused around that page there. Even the stuff between them, underneath the top part, the middle, some of the white, outlining and things like that. If any, for those who have the book in front of them, what are your thoughts over here or with some of this stuff?
There's so much to like here on these pages, and Michael hit a home run highlighting a lot of it. That close-up of Storm's eyes with the lightning bolt ripping through it, and just the exterior of the club and the rain and the storm going on outside. I love that as her just like, I'm not messing around. And I struggled on that far page to pick my favorite panel because there are just so freaking many. And I know that for Magic Lasso, I'm trying to narrow in each week on my favorite panel. Here's the problem. First, you've got 2 sexy Storms facing each other. One of them basically wearing a thong in this nightclub. And I'm like, okay, that's the winner. That's the panel. Like, nothing's going to top this. I'm like, this is phenomenal. Then we go down to what Justin is saying, in that white negative space sort of in the center as this like memory that's between these 2 characters, each of them caring about Rogue and where she's at in her life. And you have this moment where she's joining the team and the team's judging her. And it's all made of the smoke from the cigarette that Mystique is smoking. I'm like, well, that's the best panel. That's the freaking best panel. Then on the far side, there's this one panel of smoke coming out of Mystique's mouth. And it's like out of her nose and out of her teeth, and her teeth are clenched, and you can see there's anger in the words. Holy crap. Talk about taking dialogue that's already really interesting, but giving it tone because of seeing her teeth gritted, like the intensity. It's the line is fat lot of good he's done her. You can see the anger is already there in the words, but when you see them gritted through teeth with smoke coming out, I was like, damn.
Yep.
That is a phenomenal little panel that is tucked in the corner that if you're speed reading through, you might not catch. And I'm like, holy crap, this is so good. This page is phenomenal. And then you get to the bottom panel, and I'm like, okay, I don't know who this sexy lady waitress is, but she's looking amazing there. I'm like, wow, we're just upping the game. This page is so good. I'm loving everything about this. I'm just like, this page, I'm sorry. I know Candace is probably dying right now. I'm like, I can barely breathe.
I'm dying right now.
Before you turn the page, John, there's all these faces, and then there's the hiney there, and I mean, like, there's a lot of, the heat of the room is coming up. So I was wondering, did this show anybody's kinks? Like, did this show anybody's kinks that you really wanted to explain? Like, maybe it shows some of Storm's kinks, maybe it shows some of Mystique's kinks. I mean, we got through Emma's kinks. Was anybody's kinks revealed here?
Mystique chose this club, right? She chose this club for this reason. It's clearly her kink right here. And yeah, that waitress really doing it.
I just wanted to let you know, you had me dying to the point where I had to pull my van over. I'm driving along, listening. I look over and I'm like, what is John doing? I'm laughing so hard.
I'm struggling. I'm living a life there.
The chat is amazing right now. I'm gonna highlight a couple things. Bobby says first highball special. Love it. Magic Lass says John is flying his kink flag. That's right.
Go John, man. Go John.
I'm a Mark Julius variant over here. What are you gonna do?
Comic says someone needs a cold shower.
I'm gonna at the end of this show. Yeah.
Eric, yes, the flow of the panels is fantastic.
So good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, highlights both art and writing coming together to tell a story, panel to panel. That is not your normal 9 grid, not your normal anything there. Look how they pushed the envelope of what this medium can do in that page. It's wild.
Yeah, agreed.
Until you turn the page, and then I found my favorite panel.
Another reason for this being fanfare. Couldn't do this in a regular mag. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, so yeah, let's keep it going here. We're only a couple pages left.
Namor. We're calling Namor.
We found John's new kink.
So
I mean, holy crap.
We get an interruption here by a waiter.
Namor.
A Namor looking waiter. Just seeing about if they need a fresher on their drinks. And I love that Mystique immediately says, "Oh, she'll have a hemlock." And he goes, "Oh, I don't know that brand. I'm not familiar with that brand." And he said, "Didn't think so. Never mind. Love the hair." I just love the back and forth between all of them. Mystique with her evilness of superior service, she says, "Behold, darling, evolution in action, but in which direction?" And she immediately grabs him and kisses him. High sexual tensions just on this one page here.
That's a good way to say it.
Some gorgeous artwork. The knockout white image of Storm. That was something I had to go back to again. It's easily, and John, you pointed this out several times. It's easy to skim through or do a kind of a fast read through this and miss some of the small panels that have some really, really amazing artwork in it. So if you did skim through it, or if you haven't taken the time to re-go through again, definitely all around. There's just so many good panels here. And so then, Mystique dismisses him, slaps him on the butt, and sends him on his way. In which then they kind of get a bit more into the whole point of their meeting, because again, Storm is still wondering, what the heck are we doing here? We've been sitting here in this nightclub. It's 7 pages in, and we're she wants to know why she was kind of summoned here. They brought up Rogue, and so Mystique says, "Oh, that's right, yes, Rogue. She's trying to figure out a way to get her back, and she's thought of the idea," she says here, she said, "I thought of the idea of giving her what she wants, trying to help her find out a way to get rid of her powers, because that was what she was struggling with when she left. And that's also why we know that Rogue joined the X-Men, is because she wanted to learn more on how either she can control it or what she can do to kind of combat certain things, and how to just live a better life and be able to, have control in that regard." So there was a lot of back and forth between the two of those. Mystique does reveal here that she has sources that there is this weapon that can remove a mutant's abilities, and we already know a little bit of that, right, from what we've read in this season. At least we know a thing or two here about mutants losing their abilities. So Storm says, "How do you know about this? What are your sources?" She goes, don't even ask me what my sources are, just believe me, they're real. And so she gives a little list of where she might be able to find Storm. And she's basically saying to Storm, "I need you to go find her." And Storm's like, "Well, why don't you? Wouldn't this be a great way to win her back and to be able to do this?" But she points out in the next couple pages that she's like, this really wouldn't do anything. She would go right back to still trying to figure out what it needs to be done. So Mystique felt, "I think this is just best if you something you did." And at the end of it, as you can see in that far panel, she's leaning over. She says, "Consider this a gift." What should say from a mother for a child. And that's it. Now that right there, if you know Mystique, there are layers and layers and layers of as to why she's offering this opportunity, this being friendly, saying, "Hey, here's a list of places that you can find her. Can you go do it? Not me, because all these BS reasons I can't go." So I just found that interesting. And of course, she disappears into the night where there's more dancing in the nightclub, which I always find it cool because Mystique can just exit anywhere, anytime, basically, if she's out in public, because she could just turn immediately. And that's exactly what she did as she kind of exits the doorway. So, all right. What are your guys' thoughts here? Michael, I'm going to pass it to you first. We got Namor serving drinks, and then going into kind of the meat of the story. So lay it out for us here.
Oh man, that panel, that page, it really, you know, we keep seeing Storm being a badass, and now like you get this like this ruthlessness of Mystique, just like I'm gonna manhandle this guy, and like I take what I want, I mean business, I do what I want, you know, like I get what I want, you know, and you know, here she is telling Storm like, you're gonna help me find my daughter, and like that page really conveyed that to me. And just her, you know, there was so like it told so much about her character that I appreciated. She is a villain, like she does things like this, she gets away with it. That's why I don't like seeing this modern version of her where she's, you know, like she's a good guy. Like I want badass, mean, ruthless Mystique, you know, the diabolical one. You know, where she starts talking about I have this weapon, like immediately, because it was talked about, you know, several weeks ago. I'm like, Forge just got caught. Homie just got caught. Like, you've been sleeping around, Storm. And I remember this issue came out many years later. So I'm like, all right, maybe they broke up. Maybe they're not no more. You know. But either way, he got caught. So her at the end there saying, you know, like I agree with the layers of you know, how you're going to help me get my daughter. Like there's some manipulation, she's and there scheming, was like I'm like, she's trying to make Storm do this because it makes the X-Men look bad. Like make her run back to me because of how bad you guys are. Like she's a manipulator. She gets what she wants and she finds ways to do it. You know, and she's a master manipulator. She's great. What I love, the exiting of her out of the club, and she turns into the what is it, 5 different people, was like I had to go back and I'm like, oh my god, that's her leaving. That's her leaving. And she's this dude, then she's that girl, then she's this girl, then she's that dude, then she's this, and like that it's was cool how it's done. Cool.
Yeah.
So
and the background cool, is like faded. The people are faded.
Right. How do you show a character like in a still picture change form? And the way that she exits changing form to where like, oh wait, oh no, oh she's gone now. I don't know which one was her. Like it was fantastic. Yeah. I love this. Absolutely love this. I needed more. I was interested. You know, I need to know more about this story. I need to go bin diving.
Yeah. That's what you do best, right? Well, I'm well said. Definitely agreed, and great point out of the different changes as she exits. John, what about you? What were your thoughts here? We get to see the second half of the booty now turning into the pages here, going into the rest.
Great points. So obviously great points. And Gorvidal having a blast in this chat and cracking me up a ton. He says that this waiter is a cross between Legion, Tim Curry from Rocky Horror, Romero from Escape from New York, and Frankenstein. And Frankenstein's Bride.
Frankenstein's Bride, yeah. That I love the hair, spot on.
And obviously it's not told that it's Namor, but this is clearly Namor. This is canon. This is obviously what Namor would be doing on a holiday. I didn't even know that I liked Namor until I read this issue, and then I'm like, I'm a fan. Like Namor's got like respect the vibe. He wears a Speedo all the time. He's comfortable in his skin. This makes sense to me. So I'm feeling what he's throwing down here. I do love the way this highlights psychologically where Storm and Mystique are. that's the best part of it. The juice of this is you have two characters being written well in the mode of who they are. Mystique trying to manipulate, Mystique trying to control a situation, trying to push characters around, and doing so by pushing Storm's buttons. And this club is intentionally chosen. Her appearance is intentionally chosen. The way she, flirts with this waiter, dances in the middle of the club, changes appearance at willy-nilly. I think it's all intentional. And what a great psychological assault that she is leading. And it works. And that's the beauty of this. How does this tie into this omnibus? Obviously, this is Storm losing her powers and why she got put in that situation. How did that happen? Right. And it's Mystique's mischievous playing in the background here and pushing Storm into a situation that Mystique didn't want to be in. Right. Mystique gets all the benefit of this. It's a rogue who gets to see how awful humans are being towards mutants, a rogue that might potentially come back to her, another person put in danger that she doesn't want to be put in. And then the end result, an incredibly powerful Omega level mutant X-Men taken off the board so that her sisterhood of evil mutants doesn't have to deal with her anymore. Like what a trifecta that she's laying out here. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, still it works out well for her that she's done this, right? Because she's doing little things to keep Rogue safe, which is her ultimate end goal.
She can't really lose here in this.
I love all of it. Yeah.
No,
and then of course, like art is strong. I don't think we've talked enough about the inking. There's great shadow work happening all the way across.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously the colors again popping really, really well, but the darks, right? The shadows, the line work being done on the inking side, really, really great. And so enjoying all that. Yeah. And the double, look at the top panel on the far side. You got the double Storms with the hip hop and the booty in the it's all working. It's all working, Mystique. You're playing the right game.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Well, let's keep it going here. I had to take a moment, a slide here to show my favorite panel or set of panels here out of the whole thing. This was so stunning. And you mentioned the shading, the shadowing, I think plays a massive part to this. This scene, you got the moon faded in the background there. Absolutely gorgeous. We have Storm who, now that conversation has ended, Mystique had kind of snuck off into the dance floor, and Storm returned or is able to leave from there. She exits, as you can see, and she talks to us. She goes, "I should follow her right now, knowing that Mystique is as dangerous and deadly as she is. I mean, this is an opportunity to take her in, but she's realizing that if she does that, it may only jeopardize what's going on with Rogue right now, and either force a harder conversation or relationship between the two if she were, or it just might ruin things just in general, or even put her in more danger somehow by going after her. So she decides not to, and instead takes off. But she does mention, she goes, I know that this is a trap. Like, she calls it out. She's not dumb. Like, she's, leader of the X-Men. Clearly, she knows Mystique very, very well. She knows what she's capable of, and what she's very good at, like lying and being being the trickster that she is. So she's not quite falling for it, but she does talk about responsibility and just the high road that she takes with it, which I saw interesting. Is just kind of the layout that she puts. Says it's a hard path, but it's the only one that she knows how to follow, and making sure to do the right thing is what she feels. So again, I can't say enough about the panel itself. The artwork is just absolutely gorgeous. So John, any words here for these for this? This isn't even a full page. It's only it's like almost 3/4 of the page.
And again, the way the layout is here, which is that blue background bleeds up into the panels across the top. I mean, the angle of it, the stars, the moon. Yeah, I mean, it's just beautiful. And talk about artists being allowed to be expressive and innovative and not do the typical kind of thing. 100 home run. Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah. By the way, Gore he had mentioned this earlier in the chat too. He said, and he's saying it now here. He says, "I can't believe this is the first time I've ever seen this issue. Credit to this show." Gore, I'm shocked too that you've not read this before, and I'm so excited that you're actually able to kind of go through it with us for the first time, knowing the experience you have in comics. So I'm excited for you. We appreciate it. Michael, wanted to send it your way. Any thoughts to add here to this beautiful panel here?
I'm just going to echo some of the same, but absolutely the emotion that it brings out, like Storm just going through her thoughts, and then just seeing her emotion, like she's being torn, you know, what's right, what's wrong, how am I going to handle this? Like, I know I'm dealing with a diabolical woman, like, but at the same time, the emotion and watching her process it as she flies through the night, right. And then just the way it's captured, the proportions, the inking of it, like, I gotta hand it to this issue that, you know, between the pencils, inks, and colors, like it's all done so well. It all complements itself. Yeah. What was the name of the artist on this? And was it
Craig Hamilton?
Yeah,
Craig Hamilton. Okay, yeah. Rick Bryant was the inker.
Yep.
And Petra, I can't pronounce her last. Scotese was the colorist. So they all played in the sandbox very well with each other.
Yeah,
they
great team.
Really.
I'd be curious what else they did together. Right.
What's that?
I'd be curious, like, what else they did together
I'm not familiar with these names.
And that's the beauty of Marvel Fanfares. There was a lot of this testing ground stuff where it's possible they never work together again. Just, you know, inker might have moved on to this book, you know, whatever. And it's a half a story, you know, it's kind of fun that the chemistry set works well like that.
But you look at that image though, like somebody would get that tattooed, you know, it's
believe me, it's crossed my mind. I was like, I need this.
then you and John would have the same matching tattoo because he already has it.
I can't show it on YouTube. That's the only thing.
No, really and truly, it just, like, I love seeing something like that where you can just tell these people look like they had fun working together. Like it doesn't look like a job. It doesn't look like it was rushed. It looks like one person turned the art over to the next, and they were like, "Ooh, challenge accepted." It's super well done. It's visually stunning. You know, the Chris Farley. You know, is it because Storm is so beautiful flying through the air, or because of how good that art is?
It could, definitely both. Could definitely go either way there. Had to throw some Chris Farley in there. My favorite reaction.
I love it.
All right, let's get to these last couple pages here. We wrap it up with what I think was perfectly done. We get to see, again, we go back to the blue lettering, right? So we know it's Mystique, and she is at another bar where she's seeing someone in the far distant who turns out that is Destiny. Except it's this redhead that shows up to the bar first, and they quickly reveal that it's Mystique, and Destiny knows her tricks, right? What she's up to. But really, really interesting conversations that were had here that to me were like, oh my gosh, like really full circle, brought everything together as to and just how, like, because I'm thinking, like, how do you end this? You know, like, how do you end this issue, especially with 15 pages or whatever it was. So she goes, before we entered this establishment. Oh, sorry. She goes, Raven, did you warn Storm about my prescient vision, that whoever goes to Rogue's aid will suffer the fate meant for her. That is something that was not fully sprinkled in past issues. The fact that knowledge was even done, and it makes sense. I mean, this is Destiny's ability, right? She can project this type of stuff. But it's like no one ever really thinks to ask her, at least not from the X-Men side of things. Obviously, they don't talk. So this is obviously a very powerful tool that Destiny has with her, the ability that she has. So it was so, to me, just the way it wrapped around, just reading that and knowing now, like, oh my God, like, because now we know all the things that happen, with Storm and with Forge and everything with the weapon that took her powers. She says, don't be absurd, Irene. Of course not. And then talks about, she goes, this was the perfect opportunity to both save my daughter and cripple my foremost enemies. How could you have expected me to pass it by? Right. Huge opportunity. And you guys had mentioned a little bit about that. And there's a bit of an emotional and I love it because the pacing is so well done. Nothing's rushed here in these last few pages. But there's a bit of an emotional side to Destiny and just how important she goes. Of course, she goes, I would, you and Rogue are the most important things to me, clearly over someone like Storm, and that she would do whatever it took, even if it was cowardly. And she even sheds like a tear when Mystique says, like, even if it were like you're my number one, no matter what. So just how powerful their bond was, their relationship is at this point. And we may not have really seen a lot of that, from our reading from the 80, 82, 83, 84, and these characters kind of still coming on board. Now, obviously, this being 88, a bit more has happened, but, has this nice romantic end to it where they move on. Mystique turns into this gentleman, which I want to get your guys' thoughts on. Basically turns into this gentleman, asks Irene for a dance, and they go off. And in the end, you get this beautiful, drawn out half page or half panel of Mystique as her true form, saying, we're both hunters, Storm and I. She's been comparing the two, her and Storm, throughout this whole issue. She goes, but she hunts and fights solely to survive, referring to Storm. She goes, whereas my goals always have been to win. And that, to me, speaks volumes in the way she views this. And you could say she's clearly willing to do whatever it takes in that regard, where Storm, you might look at her more as a noble and, honorable way that she does things. Although we have seen darker sides of Storm. But I just love that line there at the end. And the way this closes out is just the two of them dancing on the dance floor, while we are now hit with this, oh, wow, they knew this whole time that was going to happen to Storm and her losing her powers and everything that we read from this omnibus, this year. So, a lot in just these last two pages. For me, it was a home run, but I want to get your guys' thoughts. So John, I'll pass it back to you. What did you think when you read these last two pages?
I loved it. I mean, obviously the relationship between Destiny and Mystique had to play it kind of cool. Marvel was not going to allow, lesbians right off the bat here with these characters. But this is clearly a 1988 version being able to go back retroactively and say, kind of like, look, this was always the deal. I just couldn't outright say it. Yeah. And then even better than that is later on. So I read, for those, I know Gore is a big Sherlock Holmes knowledgeable kind of guy. Mm-hmm. Irene Adler is Sherlock's love interest in the Sherlock Holmes, books, movies, whatever. Okay. Rachel McAdams plays the character in the film.
I always thought that name sounded familiar, and just couldn't.
So in the Hickman era, there's even storylines where they imply that Sherlock really existed and the books were based on Mystique and Destiny solving crimes when they were living together in London long ago in the turn of the century. So this version, this sort of odd looking dapper gentleman that he turns into, could be perceived as the Sherlock that Mystique lived as when she knew Irene back in the day. There is that element, and there's a great cover for Immortal X-Men. What issue was it? I was looking it up a little bit ago. Where they're like an old-fashioned cover, a throwback cover to, I think it's Mark Brooks cover for Immortal X-Men.
I think I know. Good picture.
Where it's Destiny, Mystique, and they're in sort of like turn of the century British costuming, and Mystique has this top hat on, and it's very much in this vein for these two kind of characters. Kind of really fun.
Very cool.
I love seeing this. In some ways, it's like the version of Mystique that maybe they were most commonly together when they first met, and so there's like a bit of a throwback to their early days together, or the most publicly acceptable version that could dance together on a dance floor in the 80s, kind of a version of themselves. But my favorite part of the whole thing, obviously there's a little romance, a little intrigue going on, is the, horrible maniacal laugh that we end on here.
Yeah.
That Mystique throwing her head back in joy at having just flipped the tables on everything here for the X-Men and the Brotherhood of Mutants.
Yeah.
It's such a creepy way to end.
Yep.
Like, it's so, to Michael's point of like, give me Mystique as a villain, like, holy crap, there it is. She's just laughing maniacally at like, Storm's going to lose her powers. I'm going to get my girl back. And I'm going to go on the dance floor and crush it. Like that's where it's at the end here, and it's wonderful. It's just absolutely wonderful.
She even says, she says, I feel like I've won everything. Like just the best of the best of the best.
It's so well handled.
All her plans.
Yeah. So good.
Well said. I'm going to pass it to you, Michael. What were your thoughts here on how this closed out for you? And especially, I know throughout a lot of this, you were confused. Obviously, not the setting wasn't proper going into this, but what did you think on how this ended?
Right before I just wanted to congratulate Bobby. He just got a B52 haircut. I don't know who gets a haircut at 10:30 at night, but congrats, dude. Like,
no, I think he's saying that she has it.
I know. Oh, he got shedded.
Oh man, poor guy.
No. As far as this, I didn't know that was Destiny.
Okay.
Congrats, Bobby. I didn't know that was Destiny. And I know they're a thing now, and I don't know much about it. I thought, hearing this right now, I'm like, wow, that's really cool that this relationship goes back as far as it does. Yeah. That really solidifies it, makes it something cooler.
Right.
It
was part of the original intent for the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants was that it was led by two lesbians, ironically enough. So Destiny and Mystique were always kind of there at the front of the Claremont iteration of that villainous team was this duo. And she has this elderly blind woman look when she's not wearing the gold faceplate or whatever.
Right.
And more recently, they've given her younger look back because they've resurrected her as a younger version of the character.
Okay. And an egg.
Yeah, exactly.
I the egg thing. I'm like, really? An egg that was the best you could, like a portal, something? I don't know. They go through limbo, through magic or something. Nope, an egg. I'll take it. Okay. No, it left me very confused. I thought there was something about her Mystique turning into this man and then dancing with this woman that I was like, okay, these two have their own rhythm. They got a plot, and it left me, especially with the way she's laughing. The whole thing left me going, what's the next issue? Where does this story continue? I really like to know where this story continues at, because you've got my attention.
186.
Succeeded. What's that?
186.
Okay.
Issue 186. Because this is where Storm then goes on to lose her powers in 186. And I'm gonna, I just so you know, I have a little
before that.
Oh, go ahead.
This takes place before 186.
It technically takes place during 185.
It takes place right before Storm loses her powers, right?
Yeah. So, and actually, if do you mind? Let me just show something because I added one more slide in here before we get into other numbers.
186 is when she loses her powers.
So here's a reminder. I threw this together real quick. It's just a couple core screenshots that we have.
Yes.
This is all from 185. We had broken this down, a few months ago, and this is the one as a reminder, the one where all the guys on the boat are whistling at Rogue, and one actually shouts the word whistle that I kept pointing out. Yes. So that's this episode. But there's a whole page, and I covered up with the art some of it, but or the cover some of it. But that whole page is the two of them first discussing. It happens before this current book that we're reading right now. But it first talks about how Mystique was thinking about is there a way I can give her what she wants? Talking about Rogue wanting to lose her powers or become quote unquote normal. And she's trying to think of ways. And all Irene can say is, I can't really tell. It's really fuzzy right now, the future, what it holds. But she does recommend, do what your heart tells you to do. But I recommend going through rereading this little conversation back and forth. And then the flip side is where Rogue is off by herself. She kind of ran off for a second. She was with the X-Men, then she ran off. Storm goes to catch up with her, and to gain her trust, even offers I want to feel what you're what you do, what you do to people. You see her take the glove off, all this stuff happens. And for a second, she kind of gets an idea of what Rogue's going through and how insensitive the ability is for her. And then it leads into the actual action item itself, where Storm gets shot by the weapon that Henry Gyrick had, who was trying to shoot Rogue, and it ended up missing, or Storm shot. So, anyways, I just wanted to show this as a high level recap for anyone who didn't really know or didn't understand even up to this point of what where we're at or where this kind of came from. But this, technically, Michael, to answer your question, is this night of what we're reading takes place in between this somewhere of 185, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that you included this. So good.
Yeah, I wanted to just as a quick reminder to people, and I know it's better to see visuals. So, but go ahead, Mike. I didn't mean to cut you off. And if you,
no, I'm good.
Continue on with what you're saying here.
No, it didn't even occur to me, and now I feel so stupid because I watched these episodes. Like, was I not paying attention? I'm big on reading physical issues. Watching this over the years, I've looked at that daunting task of like, do I start at issue 94 and start collecting and like deep dive for myself in this, because I've been enjoying all along. I've garnered a bigger interest in X-Men because of the two of you. And reading through some of these issues, following along, watching the show, enjoying some of these issues, it's opened my eyes to some of the better sides of X-Men, where I've just always felt lost in X-Men because there's so much of it. This era really shows that. This era shows like you can follow along right here, except for recently where New Mutants start showing up, and it's like, okay, whoa, who's this new group of people?
Yeah. Believe me, I've been questioning that too.
And that's it. Maybe that's it right there. So the end of volume 4 is when X-Men starts like truly building its own universe. Fast forward to today, like if you're not reading 8 X-Men titles, you're not keeping up.
It's true.
It's
hard
to
keep up.
I've tried here and there. I really enjoyed this issue. I enjoyed it. That's the best I can say. I really got a kick out of it. The art for real, like crushed it for me. Absolutely. I'm upset to not know this person's name better. Craig Hamilton. Where
Never
is
too
this
late.
person? And he even
we have
did
to look it up.
So he obviously this is not going to be in the omnibus, but in the back of Marvel Fanfares, there was always some pinups.
Yeah, lots of great pinups.
Awesome Clea and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Then you got Kazar and Shanna.
Yeah.
And then it looks like Electra and what's his? You got Electra and Namor, or better known as the barkeep.
Oh, I love it. So good.
Who is this? I couldn't say.
I don't even know. But that was another great point. Yeah, these Marvel Fanfares always have fun pinups in the back.
Yeah. Begins with an S.
It's not the Century, right? No, because that's way
too
early for the
Century. The artist.
Oh, the artist. Oh, okay.
Sienkiewicz.
Oh, I think it's those are Bill S. Oh,
nice. I can see that.
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong. Yeah,
they're
not. If their name is not on it, they don't actually notate who did them.
Quick hello to Entropy in Comics. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you, my friend. All right, so we are at the end of this issue. So I would love to get your guys' final thoughts overall and a grade that you'd rank this. John, I'll start with you. Anything to add here, or just generally, what did you think of this issue, and how would you grade it?
I think the fun of Marvel Fanfares is you get this roller coaster, right? Where it's innovation and it's creativity and it's different than anything else. And so as a result, you roll the dice and you get an Angel story or you get a Storm story. You don't know what you're going to get any given issue, but that is the fun of it. It's kind of like What If comics at the time. You don't know how it's going to be, but it could be a whole lot of fun, or you could be this absolute just train wreck. So what we have here in this issue is a bit of both, and I think the Storm story is phenomenal, and it expands on what's already in the Uncanny story. It's not necessary, but it feels important and it feels interesting. To Michael's point, all the way through, phenomenal on all the art levels that you want. All the criteria for artistry in these books is here. Color, ink, pen, pencil, all of it is happening and working. And then storytelling, panel to panel. There's a lot of creativity, a lot of originality, and Claremont is really telling the story he wants to tell. And that it's guys, there's no action in this. There's no anything. Right. It's just
not needed.
Two people in a club with Namor talking, and it works.
Yep. Yeah, with Namor talking. Yeah, exactly. What would you put a grade on it? And not the Angel portion, but just this portion.
This portion, I mean, this is at least a 9.6 for me. This might even be a 9.8. That's just that. And no, I'm gonna just say this is a 9.8 all day. This is a 9.8 all
day. I'm still waiting on Bobby's 9.5. Where's his 9.5 coming?
It's coming.
Damn it, Bobby.
Bobby. Let's go.
He's gonna go 10.5 on this one.
Yeah, watch him. Michael, what about you? What were your overall final thoughts on this issue as a whole, or not the Angel portion, but this portion that we broke down here, and how would you grade it?
So, as far as the Storm Mystique story, art, jeez Louise, and even minus the action, the emotion, the way the emotion, the angles, 9.6, Bobby. 9.6, 9.5. Where's your 9.5?
The world is upside down now.
I was waiting for that 9.5. The emotion that was captured was far better than some action scenes we get. Right? It's so hard to find something like that in comics. It's not an easy task. So I really enjoyed it. I got a huge kick out of it. If I were to place a grade on this, I would probably go. I'd go near mint to mint. I'm not giving it.
I knew you were up there.
He's not a CGC fan. Let's let that go.
Right. CGC still uses those words. You got to remember
that. I give it a near mint, which would equal that number, same as John. I really enjoyed it. It did what Jim Shooter, who was not the editor in chief at the time, but Jim Shooter always had that every comic is somebody's first comic, and this was not my first comic, but this was like, if this was my first comic, it got me interested. I needed to know more. I need to know the surroundings, where this comes from, where it goes. I want more detail. So it did its job in getting me interested. The sad part is knowing that this goes into John Romita Jr. art. Wow, what a letdown. He's a sweetheart. He's a really nice guy. Oh man, it's really hard to say, but that guy's art sucks. It's terrible. Oh, ribbon fingers. No, I near mint to mint. I loved it. I loved it. Absolutely. Nice. If we were to include the Angel story, no.
Yeah, that's when it levels out a little bit.
Yeah. I'm at BG plus. I'm VG.
You guys plus, fall down to like a 7.
It's fair, and that is a fair assessment.
So I'm just gonna say I didn't read the Angel story, but yeah, just for this, what we broke down here tonight, I think this is damn near perfect. I'm giving it gem mint 10 for me. I don't do that at all, and this is, to me, there's nothing that I can choose out of here that's wrong. Otherwise, I absolutely loved it. The reveal at the end of me hit me. I was just like, where's this going? Oh my gosh! Like it all, and it doesn't drag out. Obviously, it's only the 15 issue or pages. It's just like perfect. I just think it's perfect. So I love it. I need to get myself a copy of this. So let me know. I'll buy it from you, whatever it is.
You can have it,
man. I appreciate it. I definitely need a copy of this. And I saw some other people in the chat saying they wanted to find a raw copy too, including Candace, who also mentioned. Candace said, "I enjoyed this issue while reading, but I really liked it after you guys broke it down. Thanks so much to appreciate." Yeah, no, definitely. You talking about it even on top of that definitely opened it up even more.
Great point. Thanks, Candace.
Yeah, Ryan saying Destiny, old chick who dresses like a young chick. Yeah, I mean that's part of it. Yeah, so Bobby gave it a 9.6. I got a hell yeah. Look at that. I got a hell yeah from Bobby. Love it. Let's see. Yeah, and even Alan here.
Damn. I'm glad to be a part of this episode.
It really is a great season finale. And don't go away, gang. We have questions before. Let me just scroll through. John, I did include some of the or actually no, I did the money first. Just to show you. Yeah, I mean, just ultimately, the key meeting between Storm.
Could I pay extra to have them slab it backwards?
Yeah.
They probably will do it by accident.
They'll charge you for it. Funny, so I just threw both of them. Go ahead.
That 8.5 is on eBay right now for $80, and I sent that guy several best offers of like $30, $35. Like, only reason being, my whole plan was to go, hold on, guys, wait, let me read the issue with you and crack it out. But I was like, I'm not paying $80.
What a moment.
Yeah,
I had like, oh, this would be, to me would be hilarious.
That's so funny.
He wants $80 for an 8.5. The 9.8
$80.
Yeah, no, don't.
And that 40 was at like the height of when books were high.
That was 2020. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. There's only, by the way, only 4 on the census. But it is pretty crazy that there's not that many out there. But
6. Marvel
Fanfare don't get a lot of slabbing. I think these books are not respected, I think, as keys, and so as a result, the key collector fans aren't collecting these books, but the comic fans who know and appreciate the art and whatever, they're the ones that are coming out and finding these books.
Yeah.
And to that, I just want to throw it out here because you know how much I hate these damn graded books and what they sold for. Believe it or not, like if you try to find a good copy of this on eBay right now, they're like $8.
Ooh, wow.
But I want you to. When I was at the 3 Men in a Basement show, I came across 2 copies in dollar bins. Like,
I was gonna say, like that, I thought it'd be $1.
In at least near mint plus condition.
Wow.
Like, these books are out there. They're on Baxter paper, so they hold up well. You can find a high grade, nice copy of this for $1, maybe $2, maybe 50 cents. Like,
dude,
and if dig through those dollar bins, you ever come across a run, somebody's got 30, 40 issues of Marvel Fanfare, just buy them. Just buy them. The stories are fantastic. The art's fantastic. The paper quality, like 30 issues for $30 is $30 well spent.
Absolutely. And I will say almost every Marvel, I own a handful of Marvel Fanfare, probably less than 10, but a handful. I probably bought every single one for $1 or less. Like, it's so you're cruising through and they will jump out at you. You're like, same old. You're like, what is that Scarlet Witch cover? Holy shnikes, I need this book, And I'm always happy to take them home. And even if I'm just like flipping through looking at the art, like I'm not getting, I don't know that character. I'm just looking at it's a win every time.
Worth it. Worth the money.
I'll throw it out there without trying to drag this on too much longer. These there's I don't know if it's BCW or a newer company. As far as the clear backing boards, they've clearly become more popular. There's a newer company out there that's at least my comic shop's getting them. They're thinner. They're about as thick as a traditional cardboard backing board, but 25 backing boards for I think $25. So they're $1 a piece.
Wow,
like $1.
Nice.
That's good.
So they're a little thinner. They're flexible, but the fact that you can see both sides. So if you're doing your Marvel Fanfares, your Marvel Comics Presents, those earlier
wraparound
ones, like that. Or any double cover for that matter, have a nice, clean presenting book with a clear backing board.
Right.
Are these the kind? Do they peel? You have to peel off one side or both sides. Like there's a layer of plastic you peel off, right?
These ones do not. I do have some of those that you're talking about. These are much thinner than those.
Okay.
I've got some of those for like my nice
those
books.
Are probably I've got some of those thicker ones where you peel off. Sometimes they have you peel both sides, but I know that usually peel one side.
Yeah, those I usually find. Who's that? Comics Pro line, and they're nice. They're really nice. You get like a 5-pack for $10. They're really nice. They're super thick. I mean, it's almost better than a slab, in my opinion.
When I was at the con in Anaheim, and I was buying that, I bought a Silver Age Justice League of America for Magic Lasso, and the guy I wanted to check the back cover, and I pulled it off the wall. He handed it to me off the wall, and it had the clear backing board. And I was like, oh, this is great. I can see how the back cover looks. And he's like, I'll throw in he threw in a package of the backing boards with the purchase. So I was like, heck yeah, sell me more of this stuff. Like, throw more in, buddy. Throw it in.
Nice.
No, I listen, investing in comic supplies is, I'm going to do my little PSA. I don't need Morbius and Paul here for this. Screw CGC. Comic books have survived for years. Robert Bell did not start selling comic bags until the later 70s. It was like 76, 77 when he started selling bags in ads in Marvel Comics, and in other comic books. So there was a whole period of time, Golden Age books, all these Action Comics. Oh my God. Guess what? It wasn't in a bag. It was just sitting there. The Edgar Church Action Comics was just sitting in a pile. They can survive if you watch your humidity, if you take care of them, keep them in optimal conditions. So a bag and board is more than sufficient. Mylar magic. We all know this. Buy some nice Mylars, buy some nice backing boards, store your comics properly, and spend that extra money on more comic books.
I literally, I buy, I actually, Phil in the chat here. What's up, Phil? He said E. Gerber. I do the same. I buy all E. Gerber, and it's all literally, it could be $1 book, and I throw it in Mylar. Everything nowadays. Yep. It's just Mylar.
Yeah.
I don't do anything poly.
Storybooks. Spend the money on more comic books. Enjoy your comic books. Open your comic books. See what's inside. Know why they're special. Hulk 181 in a CGC slab is worthless. You know what? You know what's great about a Hulk 181 raw? You get to enjoy what makes that book worth thousands of dollars. You get to open it up, see it, smell it, touch it, and see the value stamp for yourself and go, ooh, this is what everybody was talking about. This is why it's special.
I love it.
Or you could buy issue 180 and get his first appearance too. You could do that.
You could do that too. Yeah. You can get that one.
Drop the mic, Justin. Drop the mic.
The actual first appearance. All right, quick. I wanted to highlight. Ryan says, "I love the Marvel Fanfare issue number 1, the Savage Lands." Yeah, Ryan, we broke that down last season. It was really great. We had an opportunity to read the first 4. It was good times.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Roy Kirk says, a lot of the issues have pinup pages. That makes it worth it. That I wanted to, as you mentioned those, I did want to show. So, John, I know you took some of these just from the actual omnibus itself, since we didn't have any way to screenshot it per se. But here's just a few of the ones inside. Did you want to mention anything to it? I know these were some of your favorites.
I mean, that's the beauty of the omnibus. I think that they throw in some of the sketches. You can kind of look at the artwork that was maybe not used, or how it later became colored, inked, and whatever else. So this is a cover that was a possibility for the Wolverine Kitty Pryde miniseries. You can kind of see what Milgren was working on there. Then there's a lot of these great pinups. Of course, the Storm flying over the Blackbird one. I had to include that one. Yeah. The punk rock 80s ladies hanging out together was a great trio. They go through a lot of issues from the run. So there's stuff from issues 186, 187, 180, 193.
Yeah, I threw these in too.
So these are the pinups that I thought were fun. That White Queen.
Yeah.
I need to find that. It says that it was a 1985 Marvel Press White Queen poster by Mary Wilshire. That looks like Bruce Timm drew the White Queen. I need to find that poster. I have been ever since I got to the end of this Omni. I've been scouring eBay for that poster.
You really hold the F in fine when you
fine. It is fine. Yes, Candace is right. It is. I love the Sentinel battle, of course, guys. Some classic throwback. Cool. That's by Jackson Geese and Bob Wycheck. And then
isn't it Butch Geis?
Is it Geis? Is that how you say it? It says Jackson Butch Geis. Yeah, and then the pinup of Phoenix here is by Kevin Nowlan. Sorry. That's from Marvel Fanfare 18. So there's just kind of some fun things thrown in.
Yeah, it almost looks like a Brian Boland. I know it's not, but it's got that Brian Boland, just beautiful lady look to it.
Yeah. Yep, the detail.
Yeah. So yeah, those are some of the things thrown in here at the end, and then there's like a little like history of there's a little thing on Kitty Pryde, a little thing on Wolverine, a little thing on Frank Miller's Wolverine, some of that kind of stuff thrown in.
Yeah, definitely. For those, if you ever get the opportunity to get the omnibus, I think it's worth it to.
And the classic X-Men covers for this run, they include all of those as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the covers that they utilized to tell the same stories, but they updated modern wise. So it's issues X-Men Classic 80 through 97 are included, all those covers.
Yeah. You also get like Marvel Age they have in here, issue 11.
Yeah.
By Al Milgrom. Some of the articles even from that, I think from so that's actually I own this. I gotta find that. Has a few pages, it looks like, from that actual Marvel or Marvel, what is it? Marvel Age 11. Even has
Marvel Age,
even has Mariko over there.
Yeah, a little profile on Mariko.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff connecting Wolverine to Japan, they kind of highlight some of that stuff, at least some of the interviews and stuff in and around that era.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, let's get into the questions here. I know we're almost at the 2-hour mark, but it's well worth it.
Justin was like, can we fill a show with this? Can we get...
Yeah. I'm like, we only got like 15 pages. Are we going to be able to...
That's what we do, baby.
Yeah. I'm here and I can talk.
Especially on this show. Yeah, all three of us combined is a
I'm secretly trying to break that 2.5-hour record there with Greg.
We're doing it. We're doing it tonight. And what better way than on a finale with
I'm 2 hours past my bedtime, so let's go.
Oh, and Justin froze right as you did it.
No, here goes the CR Wi-Fi.
I may need to refill my cup here if this is going to be John hosting for a little bit here. We got 4 questions for the chat. For those reminders, that those people that need a little reminder, the idea is we're asking questions about last week's show from over on my channel, where we were looking at the Alpha Flight and X-Men 2-issue miniseries, and we were reading that with the Bearded Comic Bro. So the questions will be about that 2-issue miniseries. We will, to Justin's to remind Justin. Hey,
nice.
Look, you're frozen.
There's 2 of me there.
We're gonna also probably ask some questions about tonight's show next week, just for the chat. So you got to be in the live chat next week. We'll probably throw a few bones out to people who watch it tonight to make sure that you can get on the list here, because Michael's shown up one night only. We want to make sure that he's got a chance to come back next week in the chat, throw out a correct answer, and get on the wheel.
It's true.
Yeah. So we got. You want me to go first here, Justin? What do we?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
All right. So we had another sort of fantasy sci-fi melding of X-Men last week. My question to you is: a lot of characters changed who they were. Who did Madeline Pryor become? What was Madeline Pryor's new identity last week? Threw some folks off. And I want correct spelling in the chat.
Does it say spelling? Yeah, spelling matters.
This is gonna matter, sucker. You got to get it spelled right, or just write a funny answer instead, and get it right.
Gotta make this man laugh right here.
There it is. That's all that matters, really.
Just
the rest of this is all just shenanigans.
Oh yeah, okay. Did they both? Yep. Okay.
I got the first 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Chet's still going to find his book.
Chet keeps typing in, it's probably saying like antidote or something like that. He keeps trying to figure it out.
So that is correctly spelled by Ryan and Alan. Both of you are the first 2 correct answers, but now let's get into some comedy.
Lasso says Diana Ross. Can't go wrong with that answer.
That would be fun. That would have been a great story. I'm just saying.
Candace says Jean Grey. That'd be cool too. That would be cool.
Iodine. It's a little different. It's a little different.
It's close. She became a Diana Ross impersonator. Love it.
Successful.
Someone started to Tom Scott. First of all, I am shocked that JP is
playing to his audience. Yes. He's awake. He's awake. 2 hours. 2 hours in, he's awake.
She became a Buffalo fan. There you go, Buffalo Bills fan, Bobby.
Go
Smart
Bills!
Man. Smart man. Colin says the White Queen. Fine.
Fine. Yes, absolutely correct.
Scott's beneficiary. Adam says.
There it is. All right. What do we like, Mike?
Yeah,
I gotta give it to JP. I gotta give it to JP. Hey, JP, when you win next week, just know that this tally right here, you're welcome.
All owed to SOV right there.
Yeah. It'll be from my tally that I approved.
That's 23 tallied votes for JP so far. So well done,
nice.
JP.
Nice. All right. My first question is, why did Rachel Summers flip out and go after Shaman last 2 issues? Technically, we broke down 2 issues. Yeah. Last episode, in the beginning, she had freaked out, and she went after Shaman. She attacked Shaman. Why was it that she did that?
It doesn't take much to set a Jean Grey family member off.
Right.
JP says she's a Summers. That's it. That's all that's the only answer he needed was she's a Summers. No, yeah.
John, I don't know how I want to go about this here.
Yeah. There's a lot of comedy answers, is all I'm gonna say. I don't see a perfect correct answer yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
I see a half an answer.
Yeah, okay, yeah. All right. Ryan says Rachel Dinners doesn't believe in brunch.
And that's a crime in and of itself.
Let's see. Eric said she's a redhead.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Colin said she stole her Butterfinger. Don't steal my Butterfinger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Candace says she realized Scott was her father. Take that how you will.
Enough said.
Candace dropping the mic.
There were some other comedy answers up top. I think.
Up high.
Bad flashback, says Bobby. Bobby says bad flashback. She had a bad flashback.
I took that as an attempt.
You took that as a correct answer.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's close too.
That's not far off.
It's not. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still looking for. I see
one correct answer.
I wrote it a certain way.
Actually, I see 2 correct answers. I would say now.
So I was thinking Ryan.
Yes, thought he attacked her father is the one I went with. The one further down.
Okay, let's see.
Thought he attacked her father. Nope, I was right above it.
That's Ryan.
That's Ryan. Yeah, that was the correct answer I gave.
Ryan guessed it twice.
Yes, he got it twice before anybody got it once.
He copied and pasted himself.
And then we got Jack.
And he made Sove laugh. So that may be a trifecta.
I got it. I gotta go with Candace on this one. She crushed that one. Crushed that one.
There it is.
That was along the lines where mine went. Mind went.
I'm gonna give the second one to Roy Kirk because that's
what I said. Jack.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But that Candace, that's 34 points on the list here.
Colossus says she's angry about her haircut.
In fact, Candace, that puts you squarely in second place now.
Candace came with the heat this season.
Oh, there's
she
Chet.
really, really did.
Chet, that's not a funny answer.
You go back to sleep, buddy. Go back to sleep. Go work out. Go exercise or something. Eat healthy. Find a vegetable.
All right. Go ahead, John. What's your second question?
Okay. In the background of this story is an interesting group of characters. What is the name of the gods that Loki is trying to trick in this? What is the name of this group of gods at the sort of background of the story that Loki is manipulating in some way?
People are gonna have to Google this one, I think.
And again,
spell it out. Spell it out.
Yeah.
No acronyms. I gave you the acronym last week, but you don't need it.
Hearing you try to give the acronym a name was
it's not an easy one to pronounce. Not an easy one to pronounce. No.
Okay, we got the Thorgasms.
Oh, Magic Lasso. Ryan.
Callie in the chat. Callie says Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
There it is.
Classics.
Accurate.
The party gods of rock and roll. Bobby answers.
Nice.
I like it. Something Greek I can't pronounce or spell.
Fair. Yeah. The root of that word is Greek.
The hose heads. Eric.
So I think I've got 2 correct answers.
The mouse overlords.
And I'm gonna allow for a variation on what I wrote, because what I
Okay.
wrote is
Did Jack get it right?
No. Did not get it right. It's not accurate. And not available to be posted on my channel.
Oh man.
Who are the Spice Girls? Scotland says.
I mean,
Go ahead, John. Sorry. Who do you got?
I had sent to you we who sit above in shadow, and everybody's writing we who sit above. I can't even say it right.
We got them, guys.
I wrote those, and they're writing we. So I'm allowing the we who sit above in shadow.
But it was twice.
So, we who sit above in shadow. That means Ryan, the Colossus Collector, and that means Alan, Climbing Comics.
Oh yeah.
We who sit above in shadow.
Adam, you were close. You were close.
Very close.
Yeah, he missed the word earlier.
And technically, it's written as those who sit above in shadow. But we'll let that happen.
Johnny's feeling a little sauced 2 hours into it.
I mean, I'm dropping S-bombs, and I don't know what's going on over here.
Yeah, we're definitely clipping that, folks. So be ready to clip that later. At the 204 mark. 204. By the way, Sov, congratulations! You broke the 200 or the 2 hour mark with us.
There it is. 2 hours, 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
All right.
We need one comedy answer though.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
This is tough. This is tough.
What
Magic Lasso's the Thorgasms. That was great. What was it?
Yeah, the Spice Girls from Conlon.
That was pretty good. I'm sorry, I gotta give it to Chet.
Chet night.
I gotta give it to Chet on that one.
There it is. He made me drop the S-bomb. That's what we'll say.
He did. That one caught me off guard. Y'all have me laughing on that one.
They did what?
Callie's in after 2 hours. I mean, yeah.
What's up, John? Good to see you, sir.
All right, what
last
is
question.
it my all right,
yeah, it's you. Last one.
How did Rogue stop North Star in the first issue? First issue, North Star cruising around. Rogue decided, I gotta stop this guy.
Yeah.
How does she stop North Star?
Come on, that's a layup right there. Come on, people.
Maybe unless you
comedy options are wide.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Lots of options here, folks.
Yeah. Quick reminder as we're waiting, giveaway is going to be on John's channel. Be ready for that. It's going to be 9:00 Eastern. Might go for 4 hours. We'll see. We're giving away a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
we're giving away a ton of stuff. So be ready for that. Thony Silas commission piece of your choosing. Be ready for that. If you get your name on this prize wheel, and we scroll the wheel here on your name, then you'll have a shot at that. Along with other things, John does a bunch of giveaways himself. I have a couple books that I showed earlier. I'm going to give away. Including some classics, some of my favorites, 122 and 123 back-to-back issues. Both
great Banshee cover.
Yes, great Banshee. You even got Spider-Man in there.
There it is. There it is.
So
Saflang.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Very good. All sorts of goodness from that issue.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna give away a mystery box as usual, but I'm gonna give away a bunch of trades. I'm gonna do stuff just for the chat. So even if you aren't on the wheel, I'm gonna do some throw out a trivia question and see who can answer in the chat. Chet's gonna give away all of his slabs. It's gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah, he's giving all of them.
Every one of them.
There it is. There it is. Don't need no 9.8.
No. Listen, it'll help save on shipping.
There you go. All right, let's see what let me scroll back up here for a second. Okay.
First correct answer you got?
First correct one I have is Ryan. Magic Lasso said that she kissed him. Yes. And the second one I'm going to give to Bobby because it was inappropriate and
it's fair.
Yeah, she kissed him. So Bobby and Ryan, you're the two correct answers. We got Eric with trip him. I mean, yeah, it is close. It's close.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? Chet, she goosed him and he Googled.
I think his spell check worked to his
advantage. Yeah. It helped the comedy.
Callie says she yelled, "I don't know you. Let go of my purse." And then kicked him in the nads.
I don't hear the word nads enough. That's
not at all.
Obviously, she outed him.
Fair.
Colin says, "I'm just not that into you, Rogue." Yeah, I mean,
fair. Nobody ever said that in history.
Ryan said, showed him a picture of Angel, and it was true love.
Bobby.
She
threw fuck at him.
That's a weird fastball special that we're not really familiar with. But... it's like you lost Justin. You broke Justin.
Let's see. Candace said, made him realize he kissed a girl and didn't like it. Yeah, we did talk a little bit about that.
That's very funny, Candace.
Chet's like, that's not Banshee.
Sure? I'm gonna double check my app. I think
like
the app
Banshee.
told me that
Looks
it was
like...
Banshee.
Oh man.
Climate Comics.
There it is.
She skunk sprayed him.
She's got the stripe. Yeah, that makes sense. That jives.
Then she threw Sasquatch at him. That's
throw everybody. Just throw them all. Oh my gosh, Adam! Whoa.
What? Well, I think he went bowling with
Is that supposed to be bowling?
Well,
I mean, it's a very different night. It's a very different night, one way or the other. I'm just gonna say.
Stop
he
there.
went bowling.
Listen, spell check is screwing people tonight.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be chat, but
I mean, North Star might be down for either one. It is North Star.
Goose the hell out of
man.
Right.
Have balls. I got to give it to Adam. Like, I want to give it to Chet, but I know he's got 100 entries anyways. I'm giving it to Adam.
Adam now has 5.
There's his correction there.
5 entry tickets for Adam.
Adam says, "Oh my God."
This is spell check causing a victory in our chat. That's what that is.
Oh man. Oh, you guys came with the heat tonight. I'm loving it.
So good.
Where are we at?
I don't even know what's happening anymore. I give up.
Did we pick a winner? We
picked a comedy winner. That's for sure. You got your kisses
that's
in.
Great.
I think we're good on that side.
That's great. All right. Shame. Yeah,
Michael, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
it is
dude.
always a pleasure. It's the cherry on top of the Sunday of this show, man.
Listen, I love you guys so much. I look forward to this. When I first found you guys in season 2, like I really just dove in. I mean, obviously I knew you guys in season 1, but like I wasn't watching regularly, and it started to catch on. I'm like, these guys are fun. Like Justin, we were in Baltimore, and you were inviting me to come on the show for season 1. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, we'll see. Like I'm not on YouTube. Long story short, God, you guys changed so much for me, and I look forward to this show every week. Like the months when you guys are on vacation, screw you. We all need you. We love you. I get a huge kick out of it.
I love it.
I love the whole show. You guys, hey, hang out, wait for the trivia. Everybody does. It's like,
yeah,
the interview.
We appreciate everybody
talking about the book. And then the trivia, like the whole package. Like if you don't watch to the end, you're a nut job. Like this whole show is so fun. And I really do. I look forward to it every week. I
appreciate you, man.
I'm sad it's ending. It's been an awesome season. You guys have crushed it once again. And
we appreciate you, man.
For everybody else out there, just so you know, I know it's not open yet, but I've already picked my issue. This is my issue. I'm picking it now. I don't know who else wants this issue, but I'm picking this one.
Oh my God, so good.
I bought a low grade copy just so I could do that.
There it is. You're gonna have to fight Michael. If you want that issue, you're gonna have to fight Michael for it.
I'm putting my bid in now. Because it's the last issue. Because what's New Mutants? The Omnibus. They repeat a couple issues from.
They do.
This
Yeah,
we're gonna skip probably any of the uncanny issues and stick to mainly the stuff that's new. Because otherwise, that Omnibus is enormous.
Yeah.
So that leaves this as the last issue.
There you go.
I'll see you guys in June.
Yeah.
I knew it. John, I remember you saying when you were taking the notes, you said, "Hey, I just so you know, it's going to be a while." And I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, and every once in a while, I'm like saying, "Hey, here's an update. We pushed back 2 more weeks."
Yeah.
He was always like, "I'm down, man. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm super excited." No, thank you guys so much. I really do. I appreciate you having me on. I'm appreciative of being a part of this. It means a lot to me. I really enjoy it. I wish you the best of luck. Have fun this summer. John, you suck for not coming out to Terrificon this year.
I know,
Justin,
really
you're awesome because you're going to be there.
Yeah,
you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
John will send you pictures of all the fun you're missing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Really and truly, from the bottom of my heart, I really mean it. And
you
also,
rock, man.
huge effing shout out to this chat. You guys show up every week. Every
100%.
week you guys are here. You guys don't feel well, you're still here. You're sneaking on at work, and you're committed. You come back. You guys are awesome. I want you to know that I look forward to, when I watch these videos, seeing those highlighted comments because I can't see it in real time. So I see those and I see you guys, and you guys are awesome. The participation is unrivaled.
It's great.
I love this. So, especially coming from a guy who's not even an X-Men fan,
Yeah. I have to say, so when I knew you were coming on for this, I was like, the whole time I'm reading this book, I'm like, okay, where's the drop that Ghost Rider's in there? Because I'm like, there's a connection. There's some connection.
It has to tie in.
I'm like, is there a flame? Is there a candle in the background? Like, is something that I can.
Gregory Wright was the colorist on the editorial page.
Oh,
Gregory Wright did the coloring for all of volume.
This is like. So you're like Charlie Cox and It's Always Sunny. And this guy's tied to this thing. And that's how it's all coming together.
Yeah, he's got a whole
Gregory Wright also colored a lot of books, but Gregory Wright was the main colorist for the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider series. So I'm like, okay, that's how it ties in.
That's cool.
That was the best I could do.
Just says, Mikey, no more low grade copies, please. Thank you.
Oh, I don't do low grade. Just because I keep them raw. I keep nice books.
Yeah.
I keep nice books, chat.
That's right. There you go. Again, as a reminder to everybody, if you're not following Michael, please do so. I put his information in the description below. If you just want to talk comics with the guy, you certainly should. Michael, you're the best, man. We really appreciate you.
I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna do I'm gonna find all these years. I've never really been doing nothing on the internet except for posting crap, but now I'm giving away comic books. So I'm gonna plug myself. Hashtag Free Comic Book Tuesday. Every Tuesday.
That's right. Yeah, that's
I just give away comic books.
And here's what I love about it is he's always giving away the book that like everybody's doing some stupid spec over, like that cover or whatever. And Michael's like,
some sort of hype.
I'll give it away for free. Who cares about that shit?
Yeah.
There's been so many times I'm like, I can't enter this giveaway because I would feel so guilty winning this book. I'm like, I gotta let somebody else win this book because it's always a banger drop. Of books.
I mean, not always. Sometimes they're just, they're whatever.
They're just gorgeous, like awesome.
I don't know what is that magic. Can you hold that magic? I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a David Nakayama?
That's her Hellfire Galaxy.
This is AXE Judgment Day #5, David Nakayama Virgin variant.
That's what she wore to that club that we saw with Namor earlier.
Okay, that makes
428. This is Ivan Tao.
Oh yeah, Tao. That's wicked.
And then this is Amazing Spider-Man #12, Rico. I don't know. It's silk on cover. So this is the next giveaway. It's all you have to do is leave a comment. You know what it was? You guys know Lunch Money Comics?
Yeah.
You seen him?
Yeah.
He kind of inspired me. He's always giving stuff back, just giving stuff away. And I'm like, I got a bunch of comics I don't want. I'll give them away. So I'm like, That was inspiring. Then I got sick of all these people doing giveaways where they're like, tag 3 friends, like, comment, subscribe, add 8 of your friends to my friends and make them follow. Jump through hoops.
Yeah, a lot of hoops.
How would I just give away some comic books?
That's the best. I know.
Yeah. That's it.
I love it.
Yeah, what was some other book just popped up on Comic Tom, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to give that one away next week.
Right? It's the best. It's so fun.
It is. Just have free comics. My only rules: leave a comment that lets me know you want it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I got inspired by a couple of guys that used to do that at the end of their videos. They would just like throw in a thing like, "Hey, you watched to the end. Just type this word in your comment, and you're entered to win something." I'll throw away. It was only for people that watched the whole video. If you didn't watch to the end, you didn't understand why everybody said snowball or whatever at the end of the video. And you're like, why are people writing this? I'm just going to write it.
I used to ask people to leave a random emoji at the end or something like that.
Best.
All I'm doing is just trying to give back, trying to have fun. Like, I don't care.
Good.
Don't follow me. Don't like my posts. I don't care. But if you like the books, just leave a comment that lets me know you want them. I'll ship them to you for free. Unless you live outside the US, then I just ask for you to cover shipping. And my only other rule: no retailers, no dealers. Like, this is for people who collect comics.
Yeah,
if you're a dealer, I'm not mailing you free stock. That's it. That's it.
I love it. It's so good.
And enter every week. I've had like 2 or 3 people win 2 and 3 times. I don't care. Whatever. I'm just having fun giving away comic books and running up the clock to see if I can actually beat that 2.5 hour mark.
He is. I saw he's vamping. He's vamping.
You already set the record.
I'll take it.
All right,
the champ is here, okay? The champ is here. I got the time.
You already have it.
Vet.
You already got it.
No, seriously, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope all of you have a great evening. Have a great summer. You guys are awesome.
Heck yeah, man. We appreciate you and everybody in the chat. Thanks for sticking around. We had a solid 12, 13 hanging the entire time. So thank you guys for sticking with us through all this and having a good time. The chat, you guys make this what it is. It's so much fun for us. So we're going to have a bunch more fun next week on John's channel. So make sure you're ready for that. A ton of stuff to give away, including all of Chet's collection. So be ready for all that stuff. But otherwise, we'll wrap it up for now. So until then, we'll talk to you later. Peace. Oh, I didn't click.